We welcome you to Memorial Stadium at Evanston Township High School in Evanston, Illinois, where tonight the Chicago Force women's tackle football team will play for a conference championship and a spot in the WFA National Championship. Chicago Force football is brought to you by Spin Nightclub, by Hop House in Rogers Park, by Hot Doug's in Chicago, by Athletico, by Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, and by Buffalo Wild Wings in Evanston. Hello everyone, I'm Andy Garcia alongside the Hall of Famer Pam Shafrath as we get ready for the 2012 WFA National Conference Championship. As I said, the winner will go on to the National Championship to play on Saturday, August 4th and play in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the NFL Stadium of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Heinz Field. The winner of the Dallas Diamonds and the San Diego Surge will take on the winner of this game, the Chicago Force, taking on the Boston Militia. Pam, what an exciting game to get into. We've been here all year on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB, but we're here. We're at the point we want to get to, where we've been talking all year, to try to get the rematch with the Boston Militia.
Andy, 83 degrees, hot summer night in Chicago, perfect night for football. You know the NFL Films, that program that's on? If there was a game to be on the WFA Films, this would be it. This is a game. It's a rematch from last year. Last year, same teams, 10-0, going into the same game, a National Conference Championship, both 10-0, but we're a different team than last year, Andy, and Boston knows that. We're a different team than last year, and we're very similar teams like we were talking about earlier.
Let's talk about the Force. 10-0 coming into this game. First round bye in the playoffs, second round beat the Indy Crash here, and then 2 weeks ago, the Force beat up on the Jacksonville Dixie Blues, and really been a dominating season so far for the Force, just kind of getting better and better after each game.
We've just snowballed into a better team, and I think that was the plan in the beginning of the year with Coach Konecki. We had a huge first game against Kansas City, our first game of the year. We beat them 21-14. That was our nemesis, so I think that first game really set us off to that good start and gave us a lot of confidence going throughout the season.
The win 2 weeks ago against Jacksonville, got to see some of the players rest. Melissa Smith did not play, but what a game for Ziggy, for Arteria Ziegler. 4 rushing touchdowns. Melissa Smith did get a touchdown. She played a little bit, but an overall good game for the Chicago Force versus Jacksonville.
Very good game last week for Chicago Force. Big key tonight is Melissa Smith is going to be rested, and Ziggy last night, it just seems like the Force players come out of the woodwork every game. I don't know, Coach Konecki brings out the best in his players. He knows what players to put in there when he's resting certain players. He has this knack of just making the team come together every game, and last week was one of those games that it just Ziggy 4 touchdowns, but Melissa Smith well rested today. I think you're going to see a lot of different running backs today.
This is the 4th conference championship for the Chicago Force. 2003, 2008, 2009, and now 2012. You were down in the locker room beforehand. We saw what happened against Boston last year. You were on that team that got to the national championship and lost to Dallas. What's going on in their heads right now as they get ready?
Well, I was in that locker room today, Andy. A lot of emotions, a lot of good emotions. Very intense team, ready to go today. I think we're ready. This would mean the world to Chicago Force. This is what we worked for from day one in 2003. It's our 10-year anniversary. We're like I said at the beginning of our conversation, we are a different team than last year. We are ready to go. I've never seen us so ready.
Let's talk about the Boston Militia, but before that, let's get to the national anthem. Just before the kickoff, the conference championship between the Chicago Force and the Boston Militia. Both teams 10-0, coming undefeated. Both had a bye in the first round of the WFA playoffs, and now get ready for the conference championship. Here is the national anthem. That was the national anthem before the 2012 WFA National Conference Championship. Andy Garcia, Pan Shafrath back here in the booth, and let's talk a little about the Boston Militia, Pan, before kickoff. They're the defending national champions. They came into here, into this house last year and got the win over the Force. A very good team. You can almost say these two teams are very close to each other.
They're very close to each other. Not only the defending national champions, they're the two-time defending national champions. Year before last year, they won the IWFL, so they got 2 titles underneath their belt coming into this game. The Force has a big job ahead of them tonight. We're talking about the team similarities. Both teams have good coaching. Both teams have great defenses. Both teams have good running backs. Both teams have a veteran offensive line. Both teams are we are going to see 2 similar teams fighting it out tonight, and that's why it's going to be such a good game, because we're going to see the one who executes better is going to win the game.
The Boston Militia will get the ball first. Back deep, number 33, Whitney Zeeley, who is their main running back, close to 1,000 yards this year. And also back with her, number 80, Shantae Bonds.
Speaking of Whitney Zeeley, Andy, I know last week she had 4 returns for 150 yards with an average of 37.5 yards. Force has to be very careful with Whitney Zeeley getting the kickoff. They've got to have good coverage on this.
We'll get the defensive keys from the Hall of Famer after the kickoff. Just about to get underway. Again, the other championship is in the American Conference. We'll give you an update on the score when we get it. The San Diego Surge are hosting the Dallas Diamonds, and an opportunity back if everything works out right. It could be a rematch of the 2008 championship. Could be the Chicago Force taking on the Dallas Diamonds.
Andy, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but it's hard not to think that could be a rematch of the 2008 championship game. You know, there's a lot of stories behind this game today, Andy. That's just one of them. To get back to the championship game and have a chance to play Dallas again would also be an amazing story besides the story tonight. What
a crowd here at Memorial Stadium in Evanston. We're about to kick it off. Tricia Charbonneau about to put the foot to the ball. We're underway in the National Conference Championship. Number 30 for the Militia, Aisha Landry will catch it at the 30, get up to the 35, and then taken down at the 40-yard line, right in the middle of the field, and that's where the Boston Militia will start their offense. Pam, what are the keys for the Chicago Force defense going against Allison Cahill and a very strong Boston offense?
Key for the Chicago Force defense tonight, Andy, is first of all, they have to be more physical than the Boston team. They've got to hit harder, they've got to be more physical, but most importantly, they've got to stop the Militia's running backs. Zeeley and Tamfork are both very strong running backs for Militia, two of the best in the league. Force defense has got to stop the Militia's running game to win this ballgame.
It would give the Force a lot of momentum if they could come out with their defense and stop this Militia offense. Not many teams have been able to stop the Militia. Militia start with 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Cahill all alone in the shotgun. Just underway, no score. Cahill looks over the defense. Zeeley in motion, gets a handoff. Up to the 45, bowls away over inside or close to the 50-yard line. It'll be just short of the 50. Nice run on first down for the Boston Militia. Whitney Zeeley out of motion, handoff. Nice play on first down.
Out of motion, I think that's their bread and butter play, and they're going to try and exploit the Chicago Force's outside defense coverage. And I think if the Force defense has any weakness, it's their outside coverage on contain, and that's exactly what they did there for a nice gain on that first down. But I think let's talk about keys to the Militia's offense today. Andy, I think what they're going to have to do, their offense is they've got to win the line of scrimmage because the Force defense has a good defensive line. I think that's one of the keys today.
It'll be 2nd and 1. Ball marked at the 48-yard line of the Militia. Trips to the right, 2 to the left. Handoff to Bonds. On the motion play, gets to the outside. In the Force territory, still on her feet. At the 45, it should be taken down by Pebbles and the Finestone, but not until Bonds gets inside the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Militia at the Force 39-yard line.
Great tackle by Becky Tewstead. We'll talk about her later. She's a great story for the Force. One of the girls I saw in the locker room before the game, but that's a play to the other side, the other corner of the Chicago Force defense. And what happened was on that play, I think the Militia, the key was that running back waited for her block. She stayed behind her block. She was able to make that yardage, and that was a missed tackle there. And we got to make those tackles on the outside. We got to make them.
Under 14 minutes to play first quarter. It's 1st down and 10 for the Militia at the Force 39-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. Trips again to the right. Cahill alone in the shotgun. Bonds in motion, fakes a handoff. Cahill will try to run. She's going to be stuck in the middle, still get some positive yardage. She'll get down to the 36-yard line, taken down there by number 21, Punk.
Second tackle tonight for Becky Tewstead there, Andy.
Also Ashley Berggren on the tackle, who had a fantastic game 2 weeks ago versus Jacksonville.
Ashley Berggren is coming off a great game last week, Andy. She had 5 tackles for a loss. It seemed like she was playing above everyone else. She's a second-year player, great athlete. You talk about that light bulb going off for these athletes when they play a few years, and last week that light bulb went off for Ashley Berggren.
Second down and 7 for Boston. Ball at the 36-yard line of the Force. Again, Boston in that same formation. 5 receivers. Cahill in the shotgun. Gets a snap, looking to throw, under pressure, throws it deep on the far sideline. It's going to be incomplete. Too high for the receiver, Amy Sauer. Sauer is the leading reception getter for Boston. Just a little bit too far on the throw. It's going to bring up third down and 7 for Boston.
Dorian Bridges on that coverage, Andy. Really good coverage by her. That was just a go pattern by the Militia receiver. Great coverage, and she did a really good job on that. That's what they got to do with these receivers. They got to stay close and be physical, and they got to fight for that ball. When the ball's up in the air, everyone thinks, oh, it's for the offensive receiver. No, when that ball's up in the air, it's anyone's ball game. That's what defenses are taught to do. That ball's in the air, you go for that ball.
Boston changes the formation on 3rd and 7. Three running backs in the backfield. Cahill in the shotgun. Kind of a wishbone in the shotgun. Pressure coming from the Force. Cahill gets a snap, and she has a wide opening to the outside. 30, 25 should be taken outside by number 30 of the Force. That's Alicia Oakrey, but a big gain for Boston on 3rd down. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Militia at the Force 25-yard line.
You talk about the first 4 plays here tonight. Militia had the first 2 plays, good running games. The last 2 plays, the Force did a really good job of executing and reading their keys and stopping the Militia. Let's talk a little bit about the quarterback of the Militia. She's a good running quarterback, as we can see, and she's a veteran. And this is a good story, too. Both teams tonight have good quarterbacks, as you saw right there.
12:15 to go first quarter, no score. Conference championship between Chicago and Boston. Militia have the ball. Man in motion is Tamfu. Cahill gets a snap. Handoff to Bonds. In the backfield, she may have gained a yard, and we got a penalty on the play. Bonds was pushed out of bounds by Kim Marks. And it looks like the penalty is going to be on Boston, pushes the Militia back. Maybe
a hold, Andy. But, we talk about the Militia's team, and it's just one of those teams that's very well coached. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about their coaches. It's another similarity for both teams, very well coached. But coaching of the Militia, they have some NFL experience behind them. Derek Beasley's the head coach, used to play for the Patriots. And then you've got Robert Perryman, played for the Broncos, University of Michigan. You got a lot of talented coaches on the other side that know what to call on certain plays.
It was a hold on the Militia, so the ball will be marked at the 35-yard line. 1st down and 20. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Cahill gets the shotgun snap, throws on the near sideline, and it's going to be tipped up, and nice deflection from Emma Finestone.
Yes!
Tried to get it over to Adrian Smith, the receiver, on the near side, but what a play on defense from Pebbles.
Another good coverage, and I talked about before the game, Andy, we've got to be physical with this team, and that was a physical play by Finestone. And how about a story there? She breaks her wrist, Andy, middle of the season, has surgery, comes back and plays in the playoff game. That's a tough player right there.
2nd down and 20 for Boston. They've had the ball for 3.5 minutes. This is the first drive of the game.
Force is not used to this, are they, Andy?
Not at all. Cahill in the shotgun, looking to throw. Near sideline again. It's going to be caught by Bonds at the 30. 25-20, 15-10. She's into the end zone. Touchdown for the Boston Militia from 35 yards out. And it's 6-0 Boston on a nice out pattern from Allison Cahill, the throw to number 80, Shantae Bonds. And that's Bonds' 5th receiving touchdown of the season, gives the Militia a 6-0 lead.
That's a great out pattern, Andy, like you said, right into the corner in the flat of that defense. One-on-one coverage by Dantuma. Dantuma has the size on that receiver, but you've got to stay with them. You've got to stay with them. And the key to that touchdown, Andy, was the block after the catch. She had the block after the catch, and that's playing till the whistle blows, and that's what Militia's good at.
Number 42, Ashley Snyder, in for the PAT. The snap, the hold is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 11:23 to go first quarter. It's the Boston Militia 7 and the Chicago Force nothing. The Force will get the ball for the first time. If you're a Boston fan, this is kind of exactly what you wanted. You get the ball and you get down there and you get the score. If you're the Force, your defense kind of takes a step back now and your offense got to come out and kind of answer.
You know what, Andy? This is what playing at this time of year is all about. You get through the season, and unfortunately in the league, you're gonna have a big discrepancy in team talent, and the Force, you know, their conference isn't the strongest in the league. You go through your games, you get to this point of the season, you're gonna play teams like the Boston Militia, and I think the Force is ready. They're not used to something like this where they get scored on the first play, but I think this is what we're gonna see what Force is all about now. And this is what it takes to win a championship, is how you come back from the first drive of the ball game when you're not used to this. This is gonna test the Force right here, right now.
The Chicago Force were not down in a lot of games at all in the regular season or here in the playoffs. See how the Force come back and answer.
But like I said earlier, our first game this year was a huge game against the Kansas City Tribe. Big win for us, gave us confidence. So they, you know, their first game was one of the biggest games of the year. They won. So I think having experienced that in our first game is going to be good for them in this situation right now.
Ashley Snyder, the Boston Militia, will kick it off. Back deep, Elby Zuby and Ashley Berggren. Zuby will catch it at the 15. Moves to the 20. In the middle of the field, 25, 30. Has a spot,
Yeah!
35, 40. 45 past mid, 40. Still on her feet. She's taken down from behind at the 32-yard line of the Boston Militia. What a run back for Elby Zuby, and the Chicago Force offense will have great field position on their first drive.
Wow, get a little excited there.
Just a little bit there?
That's what I said, though, Andy, is they're going to be tested. They were tested there on that first drive. You go into that kick receiving team, and you know what? That kick receiving team, which is really important, special teams in a game like this, comes in and executes and gets a run back like that. That's key, and that's a big test for the Force, and they won it.
The ball be marked at the 32-yard line. Grisafi looks to throw on the far sideline to Zuby. Caught. She'll be just short of the first down. Ball be marked at the 24-yard line. Nice little in pattern. Elby Zuby. It'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Force. Make it 2nd down and 2.
Now let's talk about this no-huddle offense that you're going to see here, people watching. This no-huddle offense that Sammy Grisafi leads, it's Coach K's favorite, and Chicago Force does it very well. And a no-huddle offense is tough to defend against.
Bunch formation, B squared, big blockers in. The official's about to mark the ball. 2nd down and 2, ball at the 24-yard line.
Now the key for the Boston defense, Andy, is to be able to stop formations like this in the Force. No one's been able to stop it.
Grisafi will just keep it. Bowls forward through the middle of the defense, and she'll have the first down. She'll be marked down at the 21, just inside the 21-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Force. With 10:20 to go in the first quarter, Boston has a 7-0 lead.
Sammy Grisafi's got to love going to quarter, you know, taking that ball behind that veteran offensive line, Andy. Can't say enough about the Force offensive line.
24-yard line. The Force will have 1st down and 10. Grisafi in the shotgun. Smith to her left. Hatcher in motion. Gets the shovel pass. At the 20. Still on her feet at the 15. Breaking tackles down to the 10-yard line. It'll be another 1st down for the Chicago Force. If you love high scoring, Pam, I think this is a game you're going to like.
I agree. We're going to have some long drives with offenses on the field the whole game. That shuffle pass play that the Force does, they've been doing that all year. That's nothing new, and it starts out by good blocking, and that's the Force offensive line.
Here's a fast break offense. Grisafi in the shotgun. Little screen. The Berggren should be taken down behind the line of scrimmage by number 45. That's Vicky Eddy. She leads the team in tackles with 35, make it 36 on the season. It'll bring up 2nd down and 12 for the Force.
Vicky Eddy ran that pattern right away. She knew her key, and she made a good tackle after that catch. But the defense of the Force and the defense of the Militia both have a lot of players with a lot of tackles, very similar defenses.
Make that 2nd down and goal. The Force got inside the 10 on that 1st down. It'll be Smith on the handoff, right up the middle. She'll be gang tackled inside the 10-yard line. Now about 20 players in there. So Melissa Smith is taken down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and goal at the 8.
Now, this formation that the Force is running, as we see right now, is that double tight I formation. And they use this in the red zone, and no team has been able to stop that this year. So what they're gonna do, Coach Konecki's plan is he's gonna say stop it. Try and stop this, and that's exactly what he's gonna do right now. No one's been able to stop it. This is a tough offensive formation to stop because of all of our big girls up front.
Same formation. 3rd down and goal for the Force. Man in motion, handoff Smith. Tries to get to the outside, now cuts in at the 5-yard line. She's going to be gang tackled. Nice defense from the Boston Militia. She's being taken down at the 6-yard line It's going to bring up a 4th down and goal from the 6. 8:15 to go first quarter, and the Militia up 7-0. And of course, the Force will go for it on 4th down. You kind of have to answer touchdowns and try to get the touchdowns. As head coach John Konecki, also the offensive coordinator for the Chicago Force, changes the 11 he has on the field. They're going to spread him out.
They're going to do a spread here, which they're also good at. We have so many formations that Coach Konecki throws at you that it's really hard to defend. And let's see what happens here with Sammy with
4th and 6.
It's showing pass, as we see.
And Boston Militia are going to call for time. Head coach Derek Beasley wants to talk things over on this 4th down and 6. 4th and goal from the 6 for the Force, and both teams will talk it over with 7:44 to go. First quarter, 7-0 Boston, as the Militia scored on a 35-yard touchdown pass from Allison Cahill to Shantae Bonds. Bonds' 5th touchdown of the season. PAT was good, 7-0, but the Force have come back. LB Zuby on a nice kickoff return, getting it down to the 32-yard line, and a nice drive so far, but a big 4th down play here, 4th and goal at the 6.
Huge 4th down play here, and like I said, this formation, this double tight I formation that Force uses in the red zone. I think, Andy, this is the first time that Melissa Smith has gone up against a defense like we see here. That's 3 straight plays that Militia defense has stopped this offense that people have had a hard time stopping. This is going to be a big test here to see what Coach Konecki is going to call here. And it looks like that's why Boston Militia called timeout, is because he's put out this spread formation, and I didn't think they were ready for that. So let's see what happens.
The 4 final teams in the WFA playing, they're the top 4 teams offensive-wise. Top 4 numbers, all offensive. Number 1, 2, 3, 4 in the offensive ranks. That's why they're still playing. 4th and goal from the 6. Grisafi in shotgun, looking to throw on the near sideline, throws it up, and it's caught by Trish Harper for the touchdown. Touchdown, Trish Harper. Her 2nd of the season, and it's now 7-6 Boston with the PAT to come for the Chicago Force. Big fade pattern.
Big play by Harper. And you know what? She's coming off a big game from last week. She was on the OA championship team. She wants to get back. And you know what? She's the type of player that makes those hard catches. And that was a hard catch and a perfect throw by Sammy Grisafi. I know her parents are watching and really happy about that throw. Nice touch pass with a great catch in the end zone for Trish Harper. Big play. Big play for the Force.
It's Harper's 2nd, as I said, in the season. She got her 1st in the last game versus Jacksonville. The PAT, the kick is up, and the kick is good. We do have a flag on the play. We'll see if this is on Boston. The officials going to talk it over. What a fade pattern on 4th down and 6. Sammy Grisafi to Trish Harper. Fade pattern connects. Touchdown for the Force. The officials are going to say it's offsides on Boston. And we'll see now if the Force maybe go for 2.
Which won't surprise me since we have over 30.
They're going to use it on the kickoff.
Okay, I thought they would do that. You know that pass by Sammy Grisafi, Andy? That takes a lot of trust in your receivers to throw it in that corner and hope she's going to grab it. That just goes to show you how much trust Sammy has in her receivers. And it's not just Trish Harper, who's coming off a good game from last week. Sammy has 4 or 5 receivers that she can throw that ball to and make that same catch.
That's the 14th touchdown pass for Sammy Grisafi this season. And with 7:37 to go in the first quarter, we're tied up at 7.
Trish Harper stepping up in these playoffs last week. Andy, she had 3 catches for 66 yards and 1 touchdown. Really nice catch, similar to the one we just saw. And you know, she was on the OA championship team. There's a lot of good stories behind this Force team, and one of them is Trish Harper. She took off of playing football for 2 years to go to grad school and get her master's degree. That's someone, you know, we talk about all of these women football players whose lives are just amazing, but that's one person, goes to grad school, gets her master's degree, comes back to play in a game like this, makes catches like that.
Force about to kick it off, back deep for Boston. Number 30, Asia Landrum. Number 33, Whitney Zeeley.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't think Boston is used to a Force team like that, coming back and scoring.
Charbonneau kicks it, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 31-yard line, so it's going to give the Boston Militia good field position at their own 40-yard line. Boston will have their 2nd offensive drive. We're tied up 7-7 here in the first quarter.
Okay, this is a big stand, Andy. Big stand for Force defense. They've been one of the top defenses all year. They've got to do more 3-and-outs. this, and it's got to start here. They've got to, the offense just made a stand for the Force. Now the defense has to make a stand. This is a big defensive stand for the Force, and they've had a lot of pride. We've had a lot of pride in our defense over the years, and the Force has a lot of pride back this year in our defense, and they want to make a stop here.
I said it was going to be marked at the 40. It's going to be marked at the 35-yard line on the penalty. So Boston will have it again. First down and 10. Allison Cahill has already thrown a touchdown pass for Boston. That was her 14th of the season. Cahill will go under center on first down and 10. Hand off to Tamfook. Right up the middle to the 40. She'll be taken down at the 42-yard line. Taken down there by number 3, who is Jendolski, who you know a lot about. Jendolski, who played a lot in this league. 2006 was Rookie of the Year. Boston brings it up quickly. Hand off, Tamfook. She'll be taken down for a loss. Nice play by Ashley Berggren in the backfield. A loss of 5. It's going to bring up third down and 13.
Ashley Berggren last week, Andy, 5 tackles for a loss. She is coming off one of her best games of her career. And I told her, I saw her before the game, and I told her she plays like she did last week, no one would stop her. That's a good example there. But yeah, Jendolski, former Force player, moved to Pittsburgh for a job. She's a lawyer, another amazing woman on this team, and came back for a job opportunity here and suited up tonight for this game. So she's someone with a lot of Force pride that's playing tonight.
The officials move the ball to the 39-yard line. It's going to bring up third down and 6. Here in the first quarter, 6:30 to go. We're tied up at 7. Cahill will be under center. She has her receivers to the left, receiver to the right. Cahill looks over the defense, gets a snap, fake handoff, looks to throw on the outside, has a receiver, and is caught by Zealy. Has room, 45-50, 45-40, still on her feet, she's gone. 25-20, 15-10, she got to the outside, and she's got a touchdown from 61 yards out. Another touchdown pass from Cahill, but we've got a flag, and that's going to come back. The officials are going to call some type of block.
I think it might be a hold, Andy. This Militia team has a lot of down block fields after the catch, and I don't know if they held on that one.
If it would stand, it was from 61 yards. The officials are talking it over, though. You just saw the speed that Whitney Zealy had to the outside. She beat everybody, had one block, and she was gone. I don't even know if she needed the block, but it is coming back.
That's a huge penalty.
That is a huge push in the back from Boston, and that stops a 61-yard touchdown pass.
That's a huge penalty for Militia, and you know, they don't have a lot of penalties so far this season, so that's very rare. But let's talk about Whitney Zealy a little bit. She's the type of running back, Andy. She can catch and she can run. So she's that double threat, and those are really hard to stop. Any kind of running back that could run and catch together is very hard to stop, and that's a perfect example right there.
So the officials will mark the ball down at the 39-yard line of Boston. It'll be third down and 6 from their own 39. Boston's offense can put up points quickly. Allison Cahill comes under center. Has a wishbone backfield behind her. On third and 6, Cahill gets a snap. Hand off to Tamfook. To the right. She'll be taken down close to the first down. It'll be just short. Tackled there by number 45, Dorian Bridges. See where the officials mark it down.
I think
it's going to bring up fourth down and 2.
Stacy Tamfook, Andy's more of that power runner for Militia. Up the middle, power runner. And the Force, no one's been able to run up the middle against the Force today, or this season. And Boston only a few times been able to do it. That's huge for the offensive line for the Militia.
4th and 2. Boston will go for it at their own 43-yard line. Wishbone backfield. Cahill under center. All 22 players are in from 10 yards in. Handoff inside, be taken down for a loss by Darcy Leslie. Handoff was to Zealy, and she got nowhere. Darcy Leslie came in, got the stop, and the Chicago Force defense steps up on 4th down, and the Force will take over on downs.
Huge stop for the Force. I said the defense needs a big stop. They made it right there. Whitney Zealy doesn't see a player like Darcy Leslie often, does she? That was a big play by Darcy Leslie. Darcy Leslie, one of the top defensive players in the league, and I think one of the keys for the Militia offense today, Andy, is they've got to stop the blitzes by the Force. That was a blitz by Darcy Leslie. It's hard to make a tackle like that against someone like Whitney Zealy. She made that tackle. It shows how athletic Darcy Leslie is.
Boston had scored on a 61-yard touchdown pass, brought back on a flag. Force get the stop on defense. Now Grisafi gets a snap. Up to Melissa Smith. She'll get to the 35 and then the 34-yard line and then gang tackled right in the middle. Gain of 3 on first down. I'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Force.
Melissa Smith has her work cut out for her tonight, and I knew she knew that coming into this game against this Militia defense. She hasn't seen quite a defense like this, and neither has the Force offensive line, and you could tell. But you know what? They're grinding it out in there. That line of scrimmage, Andy, is going to be the key to this game today. And, hey, how about the nerve of Militia to go for 4th and 2 in that field position? That says a lot about their coaches, their belief in their team. That's a good call, I think, with their history.
2nd down and 7 for the Force.
She can get back.
Yes. The lineman moved across on the Boston Militia, and there's going to be a flag. They may have made contact. What Grisafi did was just give a hard snap, but the linemen were not set yet for the Force. Defense went over the line, and the officials are going to talk it over. 4:37 to go, first quarter. Force and Militia tied at 7. We're getting into offsides on the Militia.
Wow.
It's going to bring up 2nd down and 2 from the 29-yard line.
Militia's frustrated right now. They're not used to this. They're not used to this. They're a little frustrated. They know that it's going to be down to the final seconds here tonight.
Boston had to beat New York in the 2nd round of the playoffs, and then their nemesis, the DC Divas, one of the big rivalries, and we'll talk about what happened after that game. A little bit of a brawl. It's going to be 2nd down and 2. Smith up the middle. Gets tripped up. She'll get to the 25-yard line. It'll be enough for the first down. Taking down, see who made the tackle, number 50 for the Boston Militia, Amanda Elpert. But it's going to bring 1st down and 10 for the Force inside 4 minutes here in the first quarter.
I like that Coach Konecki, Andy, is sticking with his bread and butter, and that's running Melissa Smith and using our offensive line, which is our strength, to keep our offense on the field and tire out the Boston Militia defense.
The Force come up quickly in the tight formation. Melissa Smith with the run down the right hash mark. Pushes the pile over. Nice running from Melissa Smith on 1st down. A gain of 7 at the 18-yard line will bring up 2nd down and 3.
Melissa Smith, power runner, well rested going into tonight's game. She gets those lead blocks that push from the offensive line. And you know what? You're going to get 5 or 6 yards each play on that. It's going to be a tough play to defend for Boston.
Melissa Smith getting a lot of carries right now. Again, that B square, tight formation. Handoff Smith. Up the middle to the 15, and she'll be rocked back. Nice defense there from Boston. 2 or 3 Militia get inside there. Number 53, Shantae Stewart, in there on the play. It's going to give a Force to a 1st down enough for the Force inside the 20-yard line. It's going to be marked at the 19. 1st down and 10 for the Force. Here come the Force again quickly. Fast break offense, but again, tight formation. Man in motion. Handoff Smith. Gets to the outside, now cuts in. At the 10, at the 5, and it should be taken down at the 3-yard line. Nice positive gain again from Melissa Smith. Another 1st down for Chicago. It's going to bring up 1st down and goal just inside the 3-yard line. Under 2.5 to go, first quarter. We are tied up at 7, but the Force looking to put some points on the board.
Huge blocks by number 21, Becky Punky Tewstead. That's a veteran player that wants to get to that Super Bowl, Andy.
Down at the 3, and we're going to get a timeout from head coach John Konecki. Head coach of the Force. His first coaching came in 2008 when he was part of that team, when he started the defensive coordinator and became a head coach.
He was actually the offensive coordinator that year and was a big addition to our team. And he became head coach the year after that. And what a great head coach he's been. Coach Konecki, you know, he's an amazing boys football coach. And he's got 2 seasons to deal with throughout the year. He's a very busy man, but when he started coaching us, Andy fell in love with us, fell in love with women's football, and believed in us. And he's one of the most intense coaches and one of the best coaches to play for. I used to love playing for him.
I was talking to the owner, Linda Bechet. We counted the players that were on the 2008 team.
How many?
At practice. Probably about half.
Okay.
About half of the team still that was on that 2008 team played this year that played there.
Which says a lot about our team, Andy. There's not a lot of turnover, and we're a huge, big team that has a lot of veterans, and I think any championship team that wins a championship has a lot of veterans, and this team reminds me a lot of our 08 team that went to the championship.
Come out of the timeout, 1st down and goal for the Force at the 3-yard line. Grisafi again, that tight formation. Under center, handoff Smith. Does she get in? Yes! touchdown,
Yes.
Chicago Force. Melissa Smith from 3 yards out. That's her 26th touchdown of the season. And the Force take a 13-7 lead, and we have an injury to Boston.
We do have an injury. I'm not sure who it is, but there's that double tight I formation red zone offense that no one's been able to stop, and it looks like the Militia are having a hard time with it tonight. The key is to not even get the Force into the red zone, and as we see here tonight, this is a really big test for the Force. They traded scores, stopped the Militia on defense, came back, scored right back, and I think Militia right now, I think, Andy, it might come down to, I'm thinking it might come down to the defense because these defenses are going to get tired out. So it might come down to defenses, who has more stamina on defense, the key to this ball game.
I'm going to try to get a number for you.
Let's hope that it's not serious. We don't like to see any serious injuries.
So far this season, Sharby is 8 of 13.
Shante Bonds is big on defense, too. She has 4 interceptions on the year, so that's a good double threat player.
The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 2:23 to go first quarter. It's the Chicago Force 14, the Boston Militia 7. And now the Force defense will go back to work, and Allison Cahill and the Boston offense will come back and see if they can answer now what the Force did.
Now, Militia's thinking right now on defense. Their defensive coach is saying, I got to make some adjustments right now. He's got to think quickly because this is the kind of game where the Force can score quickly, just like Militia. So that defense, Militia's thinking their defense is making some changes. Force defense right now has to continue being more physical than Boston Militia, and they've got to keep stopping the Militia run, and they got to keep making more 3-and-outs. As a defense, that's what you want, 3-and-outs. That means 3 plays, out, kick the ball. That's what your goal is. So defense right now, they got to keep making stops to stay in this ball game, stay ahead.
Back deep for the Boston Militia will be number 10, Adrian Smith, and number 33, Whitney Zeeley. Boston has had some positive on offense getting to the outside, going against those Force D-backs.
Absolutely, and without that huge penalty, it's a different ball game right now. So that penalty really hurt Militia on that last set of downs, and they want to come back and try and do the same thing here.
Let's see if Tricia Charbonneau can get a good kickoff here. Puts her foot to the ball, nice high end over end kick. Smith drops it at the 16, now looking for it, picks it up at the 20. Moves to her right, gets a block, and then she's taken down just short of the 30-yard line. Nice play from number 24 of the Chicago Force, that's Candace Griffin. Boston will have the ball, first down and 10 at the 30-yard line. 2:14 to go first quarter. The Force with a 14-7 lead.
I wouldn't be surprised, Andy, that play that was called back for Militia, that touchdown, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again because they're going to make the Force stop that play. But back to that kickoff, that kick coverage, Candace Griffin knows how to hit. I love to watch her tackle. That's fun to watch right there.
Militia have it. Cahill, shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Zeeley, the up back. Cahill gets a snap. Looking, and she's going to be taken down for a loss. Ashley Berggren with another sack. That's her 2nd sack of the season, and it comes at a good time.
I'm telling you.
Nice play. It's going to be a big loss for Boston on first down.
I'm telling you, Ashley Berggren, she's an All-American basketball player from University of Illinois. They retired her number just to get you an idea what kind of athlete she is. Her first year of football was last year, and you have that learning curve. I think that learning curve about flattened out right now. That light bulb went off. She's the type of athlete where she has so many physical skills. She's not only strong, but she's fast. She's someone that if she keeps playing like this, the Force are going to be tough to beat.
Loss of 8 on first down. 2nd down and 18 for the Militia at their own 22-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Cahill by herself in the shotgun. Looks to throw. Middle of the field, and she's going to overthrow her receiver. Nice defense from Candace Griffin on number 85, Emily Weinberg. Incomplete on 2nd down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 18 with a minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. The Force up 14-7.
I like that call by Militia. That's a tight end slant play. And you know what? Candace Griffin, as a safety, that's her coverage. And you're taught to hit that tight end on the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what she did there. So she slowed up that play. You could tell quarterback Cahill Militia overthrew her because Candace Griffin slowed up that play. She did a good job on that play.
Big down coming for the Chicago Force defense. 3rd and 18. Ball at the Militia 22-yard line.
Another big stop for the Force here.
I formation for the Militia. Cahill looks over the defense. Going to get offsides on the Force. They'll run the play. Tamfuk gets a handoff, moves to the right, now cuts in. She'll be taken down at the 26-yard line. But there's a flag on the play as the Force jumped on defense.
We'll see what that is. I saw a Boston Militia player move too, so I don't know how they're going to make this call here.
It's still going to bring up 3rd down and long for Boston, but they will have a little bit shorter to go after this offsides from the Force.
So not only is Militia's defense trying to make some changes and some adjustments, I think the Militia offense right now, after that stop last time for the Force, even though they had some plays that worked for them, they know that they got to keep making adjustments throughout this whole game. And, you know, that's what football's all about, Andy, is adjustments. And these coaches are ready for it, but I think you're going to see adjustments throughout this whole game.
The ball will be marked at the 27-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 13.
Do we know who the penalty was on that, Andy?
No, it was just a jump. It was an offsides.
Okay.
It looked like about 3/4 of the defensive line jumped on there.
Okay.
So it's 3rd down and 13, ball at the 27-yard line. See what the Militia can do on 3rd down.
I wonder how many long 3rd downs the Militia has seen this year.
2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Zealy in the backfield with Cahill in the shotgun. 1:22 to go here, 1st quarter. Cahill looks over the defense. Bonds in motion. Cahill with the snap. Looking to throw, and she's taken down.
Yes!
She barely got the ball off. Right a blitz from Candace Griffin. Cahill incomplete on a pass, just got it off. Nice blitz from the Force. It's going to bring up 4th and 13, and the Boston Militia will punt it away.
We didn't talk about this, Andy, but I think the keys to this game for the Boston Militia, for their offense, one of the keys was to stop the Chicago Force blitz. And you know what? That starts with our coach, Coach Lewandowski. Great defensive coach, always throwing different schemes at you. Chicago Force's blitz is one of the best in the leagues, as we have seen with the Darcy Leslie loss, Ashley Bergeron, and now that with Candace Griffin.
And 4th and 13, Boston will kick away. It's a fake. They're going to give it to Zealy up the middle, and she didn't get anywhere. She may have gained 3 yards. Taken down by Kim Marks. No one was surprised on that Chicago Force team with the fake punt, and I have to think over that play. You're 4th and 13, and you're not really going to surprise anybody, but hey, if you're a Force fan, you'll take it at the 30-yard line of the Militia.
I think 2 things here. A lot of guts, Boston Militia, a lot of guts. I like the guts, but it goes to show you how prepared the Chicago Force is, because special teams, 3rd part of the game that many people don't practice, and I do know for a fact Chicago Force practices special teams, and it showed right there.
Let's see if the Force go for the home run play. 1st and 10 at the 30. Grisafi in the shotgun. Spread offense, handoff Smith. Up the middle, starting her feet at the 25. In the middle of the field, trying to be dragged down. She finally has done that by Shayna Seegers, but not before a 1st down to the 19-yard line of the Boston Militia. 1st down and 10, Melissa Smith just getting those yards hard way.
You know, we saw in the beginning of the game, Andy, a few pass plays by Sammy Grisafi, our quick little shuffle pass, but since then we've seen Melissa Smith, and I love this. I love that Coach Konecki is just grinding it in there with Melissa Smith.
Under a minute to play. Grisafi, 1st down and 10 for the Force at the Militia 19. Grisafi moves to her left. Now a little shovel pass to Hatcher. At the 15, gets down to the 13-yard line. Nice gain, though, on 1st down. 2nd down, and we'll call it 5. Gain of 5. Maybe call it 6. They got down to the 14. 2nd down and 5. Under 25 seconds to go 1st quarter.
That shuffle pass, Andy's a real tough play to defend. Boston Militia, their tough defense, did a really good job of reading that. They've got to be able to do that every time to stop that big yardage on the shuffle play. Force
will go before the time runs out in the 1st quarter. Hand off to Smith. She'll bowl her way, pushing the defense forward, and then the Militia push back. Going to be just short of the 1st down as we hit the end of the 1st quarter. The Force will have 2nd down and 1 when we come back from the break. End of the 1st quarter, the Force 14, the Militia 7. You're listening to Chicago Force Football on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB.
WJOB Hammond.
Hey everybody, I'm Jim Deedlow. I'm the morning host here at WJOB. And I'm also one of the guys that's coming up with this great idea that WJOB goes into the next generation and we get a nice video situation going on. And you're watching that right now. Check us out at WJOB1230.com and you'll learn all about our video as we move into the next generation. We're We're happy to be with you guys, and we're happy to be keeping pace with technological innovation here in the Calumet region. I'm Jim Diedlow. Thanks a lot.
Athletico. Isn't it about time you came off injured reserve? Schedule a complimentary injury screening at any of our convenient locations and receive personal attention by a licensed medical professional. Complimentary injury screenings are free, easy to schedule, and most importantly, provide you with peace of mind. Call 1-877-ATHLETICO or visit us online at athletico.com to find a location near you. Athletico, the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training to the Chicago Force. MOR is proud to be the team physician to the Chicago Bulls, Blackhawks, and your Chicago Force. That's Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. www.rushortho.com.
The Chicago Force, entering its 10th anniversary season, is a proud member of the Women's Football Alliance. The WFA plays under the same full-contact football rules as the NFL. Comprised of 60 teams from across the United States and Mexico, the WFA is the largest women's American football league in the country. From Florida to Oregon and from New England to California, the WFA consists of the best teams in the nation.
Right up the middle, she'll get the first down for the Chicago Force. First down and goals. We start the second quarter. Andy Garcia, alongside the Hall of Famer Pam Shafrath, started the second quarter. The Force up 14-7, but Pam, the Force are in there trying to get another touchdown.
We are about to score again, Andy, and we are, again, I talk about this a lot, but this double tight I formation, it's all about the offensive line. Everything starts the line of scrimmage. That's why we're so good at this.
First down and goal at the 6. Gersafi, handoff to Smith. To the right side, she may have gained maybe 2 yards. They'll mark her down. Let's say she'll be marked down at the 4-yard line. Second down and goal at the 4. And Melissa Smith just working hard in there and working some positive yards.
We see helmets flying, Andy. We hear hits up here. We hear
2 Boston players down after that play.
Melissa's helmet just flew off. You know, I mean, like I said, this kind of offense, it's kind of like the Chicago Bear offense.
Yes,
you know, it's all about running. It's all about blocking, offensive line of scrimmage. Whoever wins the line of scrimmage today is going to win this ball game. And both teams have great lines on both sides of the ball. You know, you talk about both teams. Andy, and we've got all-stars on both teams for the Boston Militia. We've got a total of 8 all-stars. For the Chicago Force, we got a total of 7 all-stars. And it's just, both teams are filled with talent. It's fun to watch.
Second down and goal for the Force at the 4-yard line. I formation for Chicago. Gersafi under center. Handoff, Smith. Right up the middle, she's in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago Force from 4 yards out. That's Melissa Smith's second touchdown of the game, the 27th of the season, and it gives the Force a 20-7 lead. Melissa Smith again, 27 touchdowns this season. And Pam, we're going to have a special guest here.
I like it.
We'll get to him right after the PAT. Charbonneau in. 20-7, the PAT is up. The kick is good with 13:37 to go in the second quarter. It's the Force 21, the Boston Militia 7. We're now joined by Mike Gazzoni, the Great Lakes Regional Manager for USA Football. Mike, an all-state quarterback at Downers Grove High School, knows a little bit about this game, leading his team to the 2001 state championship. And Mike is a huge supporter and fan of women's football. Mike, it's great to see you up here, and you got to enjoy this football, huh?
Thanks. Oh, I love it so far. Rough start, but after that, they're looking pretty good.
21-7 the Force, 21 unanswered points for the Force. And Mike, you've played this game a long time. It's pretty impressive seeing these women out there, huh?
Very impressive. It's actually making me want to put on the pads again and get out there.
Right. I say the same thing. I retired in 08. Every time I watch them play, I want to put on the pads. Hey, I got to ask you something. You won the state championship back in 2005, right? Downers Grove?
2001.
2001.
Long time ago.
Okay, 2001. Downers Grove High School, which is area high school. Mm-hmm. What would you say to these girls that are going for the championship? You won a state championship. They get there in a few weeks. What would you say to them when they get to that game?
Yeah, I mean, just keep preparing the way they have been. I spoke with Linda, and she was talking about, playing on Heinz Field. And, again, going to be a great experience when they get there. Just got to make sure when kickoff comes, settle down and play their game. And got to get there first, so hopefully they can keep putting the pressure on here.
We'll talk to Mike a little bit about USA Football after this kickoff. Charbonneau kicks it deep to Smith. Smith can't pick it up. It's going to roll to the 5. She picks it up to the 10. On the outside, 15, gets to the 20, now cuts back. Still on her feet, looking for extra yardage. It should be taken down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line, and that's where Boston will start their drive. But, Mike, talk a little bit about USA Football and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, we're the official youth football development partner of the NFL, the football national governing body, and we're doing quite a bit. I know some of the players here actually on both teams were at one point part of Team USA, played an international competition and everything, won the gold for the United States. So, we're more so part of youth football. Try to really educate coaches so they can bring back a better experience for the kids in their community, so they have fun, keep on playing the game, and really develop as the best player they can be.
Now Boston comes out down by 14. Cahill under center, I formation. Has a receiver to the left and one to the right. Cahill waits for the snap. Hand off to the up back. She may have gotten maybe 1 yard, maybe 2, up to the 21-yard line. Nice defense there from number 32 of the Force. Of course, that's Amber Burns.
And you got Darcy Leslie really reading her keys tonight on defense, number 67, Mike. It's fun to watch her out there. When you read your keys, she's definitely in the zone, and she was on the zone on that play. But, Mike, talking about youth, I've always felt, being a former player, I've always felt for women's football to get bigger, we need to start getting little girls to play. I think that's going to be huge for women's football. How do you feel about that?
Oh, that's absolutely right, and that's what I spoke with Linda about. We've met a couple times, talked a little bit, and she's going to get a little bit more involved working with youth commissioners, really talking with them. I know that.
Handoff, we got a little shovel pass. It's going to be behind the line of scrimmage. This ball's up for grabs.
It looks like
and it's going to be a Force football. Are they going to get it? Yes, they do. The officials say the Force got it. It was 2nd down and 7 for Boston.
You know who that was?
It was a little option play for Boston. They lost the handle behind the line of scrimmage, and the Chicago Force picked it up. Who picked it up there for the Force there, Pam?
Becky Tewstead, number 21.
Punt got it.
Original Force player. Wasn't in that 08 championship game because she was following her career. Always wanted to get to that championship game. No one deserves it more than her or this team. That's a big play for Becky Tewstead.
Real quickly, though, Mike, where can people learn more information about USA Football?
Yeah, if you go to usafootball.com, everything's on there, of course. With Facebook pages as well, USA Football. Again, involved with quite a bit, youth football as well as international. We're really here to provide resources and services to the football community.
Mike, it's great to see you up here. Enjoy the football, man.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
Mike Cazzoni of USA Football as Melissa Smith gets the handoff. Moves to her left, still on her feet. She may have gotten to the 15-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8. 12.5 to go here, second quarter. The Force up 21-7 on Boston. 21 unanswered points for the Chicago Force. Just using Melissa Smith, wearing down that defense. And this all started, Boston had a 7-0 lead. Force came back, tied it up 7-7, and a big defensive stop from the Force. And they've taken it from there.
Andy, this kind of game comes down to mistakes sometimes. When you get 2 powerhouses like this, you had that penalty called back on the touchdown from Militia, and now that fumble, it might come down to mistakes in this kind of game.
There's that B-squared formation, tight formation, 2nd down and 8 for the Force. Handoff, Smith up the middle, moved forward, got to the 12-yard line. Gain of 3. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Force. Try to extend that 21-7 lead. 11.5 to go, second quarter. Plenty of football to go. But, boy, if you can put some points on the board here, puts a lot of pressure on the Militia.
Well, what the Force is doing, Andy, right now is they are going with their bread and butter, like I've been saying all game, is they're saying, Boston defense, stop Melissa Smith and our offensive line. And it's just about push and pull down there in the gridiron and the offensive line. They say that's the pit. And you know what? That's what football's all about. And it's about who's stronger, the line of scrimmage. And right now the Force is showing they're stronger.
3rd down and 5, ball at the 12-yard line. Tight formation in the eye. Grisafi under center. Smith is the deep back. She'll get the snap. Pushes forward in the middle of the field. And may have gotten 1 yard inside the 11-yard line. 4th and 4 will be for the Force. See what head coach John Konecki wants to do on 4th and 4 from the 11-yard line.
Yeah, that was a big stop by Militia defense. They're not going to roll over here. They know if they get scored on here that it's going to be a tough road back to win this game. So this is a huge, huge stop for Boston Militia. They got to do something here because they've got a big gap here if they're going to come back in this ball game if Force scores here. So this is a big play for Militia and a big play for the Force because it might break it open.
At the 11, the Force spread it out on 4th and 4. And then the Force again look to the sidelines, and the Militia jump off sides.
I don't know. That might be against the Force. Tammy Engelman stepped back, but
see what they call here. I saw this being worked on at practice as well. You know, John Konecki making the defense just look over, maybe not getting set, and then making the defense jump. And we've seen it a couple times. If they're going to call it on, you're right, Tammy Engelman, that's going to be 5 yards pushed back on the Force.
Yeah.
It's going to bring up 4th and 9 from the 16-yard line.
That's a big penalty, and that's what Coach K does. You know, as an offensive wizard, I call him. You know, what offenses do is execute and try and fake out defenses. So you're going to try and put everything in for them to make mistakes, and that's what offensive coordinators do, and that's what Coach Konecki's done all year and is trying to do tonight. 4th
and 9 at the 16. The Force will spread it out again. 2 receivers to the left, Zuby and Harper. 2 receivers to the right. Hatcher back deep with Grisafi in the shotgun. Grisafi gets the shotgun snap, looks to throw, has Zuby, and it's going to be incomplete. Inside, maybe a little post pattern, but the defender had the better position. Nice play from number 24. That's Brianna Gallo. And that was going to be a stop for the Boston Militia on 4th down. Just under 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, 9:59 officially. Boston gets a big stop. They're down 21-7 to the Chicago Force.
Brianna Gallo, one of their top defensive players, coming off a game of 8 tackles last week. And as I said, I think that was a big stop for Militia to stay in this ball game. And it goes to show you that momentum right now, you know, is for the Force, but Militia's not backing down. They're 2-time national defending champs. They want to get back, and they know what to do in this situation, and they showed that right there.
See what Boston does. They'll spread it out. Cahill in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Weinberg in motion. Hand off to Zealy up the middle. She's got room.
Be careful.
She's got the speed. 25-30, 35-40, 45 past midfield. Whitney Zealy's going to try to outrun the defense at the 20, 15-10, and she will.
Wow.
Touchdown Whitney Zealy from 84 yards out. An 84-yard touchdown run for Whitney Zealy, and Boston gets back into the ball game. It's now 21-13 with the PAT to come.
That's exactly what they needed to do. And Andy, we thought the Force could score fast. Wow. Whitney Zealy, one of the top running backs in the league, as you can see, great speed. Once she's got in that open field, she's tough to catch. And we got some fast defensive players. You had Martha Dantuma, who's tall and can gain ground, could not catch her. She's one of those running backs, Andy. Pass and catch, you saw right there. Or she could pass, catch, and run. You saw right there how well of a runner she is.
Her 18th rushing touchdown of the season for the PAT. Snyder, kick is up. Kick is good. With 9:45 to go, the defense helps the offense, this time for Boston. It's the Force 21, the Militia 14, after Boston got a huge stop on 4th down from their defense. They take it on one play, 84 yards to the house from the run from Whitney Zealy.
I think Boston Militia knew at that point in the ball game they needed to make a stop, Andy, and they did. And then comes back with that running play. You know, Chicago Force defense doesn't often get run up the middle like that. Obviously, like I said, both lines of scrimmage, offensive lines, are good for each team. It goes to show you how well the Boston Militia's offensive line blocks for Whitney Zealy to get that opening.
Let's give a shout out to the crew tonight, too. Rob Cantu, Jeff Corey, Matt McClendon, Chuck Pullen, Ryan Walsh, Stu back at the WJOB studios helping us out tonight. A lot of fans watching online, a lot of fans here in the stands tonight. A fantastic turnout for these fans as we are in the conference championship. The winner moves on to play in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field on Saturday, August 4th. The winner of this game will take on the winner of the Dallas Diamonds and the San Diego Surge. That game is happening right now. If we get a score, we'll give it out to you.
That'd be great to get an update eventually on that game.
Snyder, nice high kick on the kickoff. Berggren back at her 8, moves to the middle of the field to the 20. To the 25's got some blocks to the 30. She'll get to the 35-yard line, and the Force will start there on offense. The Force up 21-14, up by 7, 9:37 to go, second quarter.
Great run back by Ashley Berggren there. You could tell she's just getting her momentum in this as a football player. You know, she's making plays on defense. She's returning kicks for the returning kick coverage. I mean, she's an athlete that's only going to get better and better for this organization. Really, really talented player. But let's talk a little bit about the Silver Sport WFA National Championship when we get a chance. Andy, there's a lot to talk about for that game.
Force at their own 35. Grisafi in the shotgun. Force spread it out. Handoff Hatcher. Up the middle. Some positive yardage. May have gained 4. Then she was pushed back by Penta, number 36, Jessica Penta. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Force at the 39-yard line.
Jessica Penta, a veteran linebacker. Andy, I believe she's got 12 years playing football. 12 years playing football. She's coming off a game of 14 tackles and 2 sacks last game, and she's one of their top tacklers in the year. She's definitely one of their star defensive players.
The officials talking to the D-line just for a second. Now 2nd down and 6 at the 39. Grisafi looks over the defense. She has Hatcher to her left in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Grisafi, a little screen pass to Harper. Caught at the 35, makes one man miss at the 40. On her feet at the 45, then she'll be taken out of bounds at midfield by number 80. That is Bonds. At midfield, though, a 1st down for the Chicago Force. Keeps the drive moving.
That's a bubble pass right to the sideline, and that's all about timing. Sammy Grisafi, that's a tough pass to catch by Trish Harper. What made that happen for that gain after the catch was Dawn Peterson's block upfield.
Force have it at midfield. 1st down and 10. The Force spread it out again. Grisafi again with that shovel pass to Hatcher. Up the middle field, has room at the 40. Then she'll be dragged down at the 37-yard line by Bonds again. Another 1st down, though, for the Force. That little shovel pass inside. Another good 1st down for the Force at the 37-yard line. The Force will bring it up quickly again. You got to continue to run that play, though. That shovel pass has worked.
That's worked for us all year. Here's that hurry-up offense that Coach Konecki loves and very hard to defend, and Sammy Grisafi leads the way.
Quad receivers to the left, to the right. Grisafi, shotgun, handoff to Smith. Has room up the middle at the 30. We got a flag inside the 30-yard line.
Might be a face mask.
Smith was taken down at the 29-yard line. Let's see what the flag was. Mrs. Smith, when she gets some of that momentum, she is tough to stop, but we'll see.
She's one of those power runners, Andy. It takes 3 or 4 people to tackle her, and you've got to tackle her at her ankles. She's the type of running back you can't tackle her high, or else you're gonna get hurt.
Face mask on the Boston Militia. That's 15 yards added.
That's a big penalty.
It'll put the ball down at the 16-yard line.
Man, if anyone's watching, Andy, number 91, Tammy Engelman.
1st and 10.
She's knocking people all over the place.
The ball be marked at the 14. 1st down and 10 for the Force at the 14 of the Militia. 7.5 to go, 2nd quarter. The Force up 21-14. Grisafi and shotgun. Handoff, Smith. Up the middle, has blockers. To the 5, to the 1, touchdown! Chicago Force, Melissa Smith with another touchdown run, her 2nd of the game, the 27th of the season. Make that the 28th, her 3rd of the game, 28th of the season, and it gives the Force a 27-14 lead.
That's another Force player that wants to get back to the championship. Andy, she was playing in 08, wants to get back this year. One of the top running backs in the league. Shows right there. I got to tell you, we can play catch-up all game here. We can switch scores all game, which means we're 2 touchdowns ahead, which means we're going to win. I'll take that. I'll take that, Andy. Wow, what a great, this is a well-oiled machine right now.
Melissa Smith with her 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. Charbonneau on the PAT. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 7:28 to go. Here in the 2nd quarter, it's the Chicago Force 28, the Boston Militia 14.
We knew, Andy, both teams coming in today were very much alike, including both very high-powered offenses that could score quickly.
Yep.
But who thought, with 7:28 left to go in the first half, Force would have 28 points on the board against this Militia defense? It goes to show you, I've always said I knew our offense was good, but we're really good, and we're showing it tonight.
After the Boston Militia got a big touchdown run from Whitney Zeeley from 84 yards out. The Force come back, answer it right away. Nice drive. Ends on Melissa Smith on the 14-yard touchdown run. 3rd already of the game, the 28th touchdown of the season for her. As I said, that leads the WFA, and the Force have a 28-14 lead. 7:28 to go, 2nd quarter.
We talked about early in this game, but even before the game, Andy, that Force offense, their main thing was to execute and to watch the Militia's movement, which is very tough to, as an offense to go against, and they've done a good job of doing that.
Nice kick from Charbonneau. Zealy has it at her own 15 to the 20, 25 on the left sideline. Now cuts in, and that speed just takes over. She'll be taken down at the 41-yard line, but Whitney Zealy showing the speed, and the Boston Militia will start. Let's see where the officials mark it officially. At the 41-yard line of the Militia, Boston down by 14, 28-14.
Zealy's like one of those like small sports cars. Like she goes from like gear to gear to gear. When she gets into that 5th gear, man, she's hard to stop. And you know, it's tough to make open field tackles against someone like her. Forrest did a good job on that kick return, but she's very dangerous. We need to keep a eye on her the whole game.
Boston starts it at the 41. First down and 10. I formation for the Militia. Zealy, the up back. Tamfuk, the far back. A receiver to the left, one to the right. Hand off to Zealy right up the middle. She may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Big.
Berggren got in there. Darcy Leslie was in there. And there's a flag on the play. Officials will talk it over at,
I don't know,
the left hash mark.
we got a hold, but I don't know about you, Andy, but our defensive players are fired up, and it's fun to watch, man. We got Ashley Berggren fired up, Darcy Leslie. It's fun to watch here. Face mask against the Force.
Yeah, it's going to be a big penalty. Face mask on the Force. That'll move the ball inside Force territory.
Telling you, games like this, Andy, mistakes are going to hurt you. When you got a game 70-20, mistakes don't hurt you. You got a game conference championship, you're playing 2 good teams, these mistakes are going to hurt you. We've got to limit our mistakes for the Force to win this ball game.
The officials mark it down at the Force 44-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Militia. 7:16 to go, second quarter. The Force up by 14. Cahill gets a snap, rolls to her left, looking to throw. She will on the sideline. It'll be incomplete. Adrian Smith went down to the knees to get it, but couldn't catch it. Bounces off the turf, incomplete, 2nd down and 10 for Boston.
Adrian Smith's playing hurt right now. She was open on that play, and her defender was Emma Finestone there. Became open, made some room in between them. She's got size coverage on Emma Finestone. Cahill did a good job of getting it to her, but just didn't finish that catch. But we got to remember, she's playing hurt right now, and you got to give her a lot of credit.
2nd down and 10 for Boston at the 44-yard line of the Force. Offset I. Cahill under center, gets a snap. Hand off Tamfuk to the left, has room, gets to the outside, and then Martha Dantumo will ride her down at the 35-yard line. Nice run, though, for Stacy Tamfuk. It'll be 3rd down and 1 for Boston.
Boston's really, really good. Talk about well-oiled machine. That running play to the outside is tough to stop when they've got running backs like they do. And the defense of the Force did a pretty good job there, but they got to get up the field more. At the beginning of the play, those outside contained people have to get up the field. They got way too far behind on that play.
Brings up 3rd and 1 for Boston at the Force 35-yard line. 6.5 to go, second quarter. Militia in the eye. Cahill under center. Looks over the defense. Hand off to the up back. That's Donaldson. She'll get the 1st down and more down to the 29-yard line. The up back, Dorothy Donaldson, gets the 1st down for Boston. Be 1st down and 10. They'll mark her down at the 30-yard line of the Chicago Force.
We haven't seen a lot of Donaldson today, Andy. She's one of those big power running backs like Melissa Smith is. I wouldn't be surprised if we see her more. She's got 204 yards this year, 3 touchdowns. She's also an all-star. So that's someone else we got to watch on the Boston Militia offense. And also, Andy, as we get into this drive by the Militia, the Force can't give them anything right now. You don't want momentum going the other way before halftime. Force does not want to give anything to the Militia right now. And Militia, but on the other hand, Militia knows they want to score before halftime.
A big face mask penalty here on this drive already from the Force. Cahill gets a snap to Zealy up the middle. She'll be taken down by number 32 of the Chicago Force. It's Amber Burns. Gain of 5 on 1st down. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Militia at the 25-yard line of the Force.
Amber Burns, another veteran for the Force on this defense. She's a good linebacker, knows the game of football. She's one of the few players on this team that played when she was younger with the boys. She was on the OA championship team. She wants to go back too. That's a big tackle, and I know he's rotating his defensive players in and out to stay fresh. And that might be the difference in this ball game, how fresh the defense is.
Under 5 to go second quarter. Second down and 5 for the Militia at the Force 25. Offset eye again. Cahill under center. Gets a snap. Handoff Zealy to the left side. She'll be taken back. Still on her feet, though. Gains a little bit more yardage. She was stuffed there right at the 21, but then got to the 20. See if she got enough for the first down.
Good tackle by Candace Griffin on that
Griffin
play.
came up and tried to stand her up, but then Zealy got another little push there, and they're going to give the Boston Militia a first down at the 20-yard line. First down and 10 for Boston. The drive continues. The Force up 28-14.
I know defending national champions Boston Militia does not want to go into halftime 2 touchdowns down. They do not. So this is a big, big stand for them on offense.
Boston will come back. Cahill already has 1 passing touchdown. I formation from the 20. Gives it to the up back, number 90. That's Jamira Sace. Sace gained 1. Big running back from the Boston Militia. Gain of 1, and we have an injury on the field, and it might be Sace.
I think so, and I think that's actually Coach Konecki. He might get a little bit of a dose of his own medicine there. Coach from Boston Militia, Derek Beasley, is thinking the same thing as Coach Konecki does, is putting his big girls in at running back to gain some yardage. You got big girls in there at running back, tough to take down in the red zone like that. And Konecki, I'm sure Konecki agrees with that choice of play.
Spin Nightclub is a sponsor of the Game Day MVP Award. At the end of each home game, we'll select an offensive and defensive player of the game, and Spin Nightclub offers a comfortable and friendly environment for everyone. Located at the corner of Belmont and Halstead, Spin Nightclub, always been a great sponsor of Chicago Force football.
From the beginning, and the owner of Spin Nightclub, Dave, he's been such a big supporter. He's been with us since day one, and I couldn't think of a better sponsor than him. He's been with us through the ups and downs, blood, sweat, and tears of 10 years, and he's a great supporter of the Force. Also,
if you're in the Evanston area, tonight's post-game party is at Buffalo Wild Wings in Evanston. All are invited. Buffalo Wild Wings is just a mile away at 1741 Maple Avenue in downtown Evanston. Members of the Force organization and all the fans are invited to attend. The party starts right after the game with food and drink specials. That's Buffalo Wild Wings in Evanston. We have an injury on the field. Sace is the injured player. She will get up. Looks like she's going to get up by herself, which is good to see. It's the Force up 28-14. Boston has the football. Second down and 9 at the Force 19-yard line. See if the Force defense can come up and make a stand. And we've seen so much scoring in this game, Pam, that it's going to be what defense is going to come up and make a play.
I agree. I think it's going to come down to defense. I think it's going to come down to how good a shape these defenses are in, and it's going to come down to mistakes and special teams.
So here we go. Second down and 9 from the 19. Militia spread it out. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Cahill all alone in the shotgun. Bonds in motion. Gets the high snap. Cahill moved to her left. Looking to run. Gets to the outside. Should be tripped up at the 16-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play.
Wow.
Third down and 6 from the 16-yard line.
You got Emma Feinstone with a broken wrist.
We've got an injury on the field. It's Tammy Engelman, number 91. That would be a huge loss.
And
for the
someone
Chicago
on the
Force.
sidelines, Andy.
Yeah, we have another player. 2 Force players hurt on the play.
Emma Feinstone with a great tackle, diving tackle towards the sideline there to save Cahill from getting that first down. We talked about Emma Feinstone coming back from a wrist injury and playing in this ball game. But let's just hope these Force players are okay.
Engelman is hurt in the middle of the field about the 20-yard line. Then on the 15th, Darcy Leslie is hurt, but it looks like she's getting up. Leslie is on her own feet, walking back to the Force sidelines, but Tammy Engelman is still down, and this could be a pretty serious injury. There's about 4 members of the medical staff taking a look at Tammy at the 20-yard line. Darcy Leslie is up, Pam, and she again is moving back to the Force sidelines, but a couple injuries here lately. 3:12 to go second quarter. 28-14 Force, but Militia have it at the 14-yard line of Chicago. 3rd and 4 coming up.
I know Darcy Leslie has been nursing a hurt ankle throughout the year. She has problems with one of her ankles, but Tammy Engelman, one of the biggest players for the Force, 6'3", 345. I mean, she's the size of an NFL football player. Great athlete.
She's getting up. She's on her feet and looks like she's kind of limping there.
Yeah.
On her left ankle, but it's good to see Tammy Engelman up.
It is.
Glad to see it's not, hopefully, too serious.
It's always good to see players walk off the field, Andy. And, you know, I got to tell you.
Well, she's having a little bit more problems. She may have some help come out.
Like the great John Madden, you know, he used to watch football and do all those marks and stuff. If I had that right now, I would have all my marks on the
I think
line
you'd be
of
writing
scrimmage.
on me.
I think
you'd be writing on me. I think the press box would be all
I'm a
full
little
of.
excited tonight, can you tell? But I would have all the marks on the line of scrimmage because that's where it's all happening right now. That's why you're getting people hurt at the line of scrimmage because they're bumping and they're grinding and they're blocking and they're hitting. I would have all the marks there, and that's one reason why Tammy Engelman got hurt. People are falling on each other's knees and ankles.
Play resumes. Just over 3 minutes to go. 3rd and 4. Ball at the 14. Allison Cahill, quarterback of the Boston Militia, in shotgun. Looks to throw. Pressure. Gets it away. It's going to be too high for a receiver. Shantae Bonds. A little too high. It's going to bring up 4th and 4.
I got to tell you, that all started with Jen Dolsky, who's playing for the Force right now, which is unbelievable for me to see her out here because, you know, we're not used to having her all year, but that was key because she pressured Cahill on that. Cahill had to make a fast throw and didn't make that correct throw, and that's where it started, Dolsky. And Tammy Engelman out is a big loss for the Force. She's a huge presence on our defensive line, Andy.
Well, the Boston Militia are going to go for the field goal. Number 42, Ashley Snyder. I saw her kick it in the pregame from about 45 yards out.
She's great.
And split the uprights. This
Yeah.
is going to be from 35 yards on 4th and 6 at the 14-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go, second quarter. From 35 yards out, Snyder's kick is up, and it is no good. Wide right.
Wide right.
Wide right from the Boston Militia is
Wow.
head coach Derek Beasley taking a couple of choices there on the first 4th down we talked about when they went for the fake punt. And then here on 4th and 6 from the 14, trying to go for the field goal, no good.
I would think out of those three situations you would go for it on this play. That had the distance, but wasn't in between the poles. But I got to tell you, I mean, like I said, you would think he would go for it on this, trying to score with a touchdown going to halftime. I think he just wanted momentum with the last score going into halftime.
The Force will take over at the 24-yard line. Grisafi on the screen to Harper on the outside, near side to the 25. Moves upfield to the 35 and then dragged down at the 37-yard line. Nice screen play from Trish Harper. 2:40 to go in the second quarter. Clock is running. The Force up 28-14. First down and 10 for the Force.
I know right now, Coach Konecki's telling his offense, take care of the ball. Take care of the ball right now. We don't want a turnover. Force offense, you're up by 14. We have the momentum going into halftime. Take care of the ball.
First down and 10 at the 38. Grisafi in the shotgun again. That shovel pass to Hatcher on the inside to the 40. Cuts in at the 45. Breaks one tackle midfield. Still on her feet.
Yes!
Inside Boston Militia territory at the 45. Down to the 44-yard line. And that's what should be taken down. First down and 10 for the Force. At the 44-yard line, we're going to get the 2-minute warning come. 2-minute warning. It'll be a first down and 10 for the Force inside Boston Militia territory, and they have not been able to stop that inside shovel pass so far from the Force.
I believe that's about the 6th or 7th time we've run that. I think the Militia stopped it once. They've got to stop that play, and they've got to stop the double tight eye formation, or Chicago Force offense is just going to keep scoring, keep scoring, keep scoring. I do know right now Coach Konecki wants to score before halftime, because if he does, he's thinking break it open, and he wants to do that right now.
Again, 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Chicago Force have the ball and the lead, 28-14. Two big defensive stops from the Chicago Force have been the difference. Derek Beasley, the head coach of the Boston Militia, went for a fake punt and was stopped. And then on this last drive from Boston, went for a 35-yard field goal wide right when they could have taken it on 4th and 4. This is where the defense has to step up, and so far the Force have. And now Boston has to do it right here. They can't give up any points here late in the second because the Chicago Force get the ball first in the second half.
Yeah, Boston Militia right now, their defense is getting tired. They've been on the field a lot this game so far. Right now, they know they've got to create a turnover right now. I think on that break, defensive coordinator said, make a turnover. We need a score for the Boston Militia. That's what they're thinking.
At the 44-yard line of Boston, Grisafi, the Force, and the spread offense. Smith to the right of Grisafi in the shotgun. Two receivers to the left, two to the right. Grisafi looks over the defense, gets a snap, fakes the handoff, and Grisafi keeps it up the middle of the field to the 40, 35-yard line. Nice run on first down. They will mark her down at the 35-yard line, just short. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 1 at the 35 of Boston. 1:45 to go in the second quarter and running.
I like that play. You know why I like that play? Because
it's safe for one.
It's safe, but you've got someone, we've been running the same play with Smith and Hatcher all game. Then you got Sammy Grisafi who keeps it. They're not going to expect that. And Sammy Grisafi loves to run the ball, so she doesn't mind doing that.
90 seconds to go in the second quarter. Force with a 2nd down and 1 from the Militia 35. Screen to Zuby on the outside near. Zuby to the 30. Breaks one tackle, 25, 20, 15. Cuts into the middle of the field at the 10, at the 5, and she'll be tackled there at the 5-yard line. Nice run from Elby Zuby on the screen pass on the near side. And it's 1st down and goal for the Chicago Force at the 6 of Boston. A minute to go here in the first half.
That play by Elby Zuby was something. You know what that play said? That play said, I want to go to the Super Bowl. That's what that play said. And I'm going to keep saying that. I want to go to the Super Bowl. Because you know what? That play was exactly what Zuby was saying right there. That's an excellent effort by Elbiona Zuby.
45 seconds and counting. Now that B-squared tight formation. Handoff Smith. Up the middle. Still on her feet at the 3, and then she'll be pushed back there. At the 3-yard line, 35 seconds and counting. And let's see if head coach John Konecki calls for a timeout, and he does. The 2nd timeout from the Force in the second half.
He does, because he wants to score right now, Andy.
34.9 seconds. Force up 28-14, but it's a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line coming up.
Yeah, Militia, that play by Elby Zuby was huge. You know why? Militia did not want a big play like that. Militia wanted to keep the Force in pretty good field position, so time ran out going into halftime, and they can get a break, a much-needed break right now. But that play by Elby Zuby, that was a great throw to her by Sammy Grisafi. Nice touch pass, but it was the run after the catch that did that. And I think that's going to be a big play in the first half today, because this might break it open for the Force.
The Chicago Spirit Brigade out giving the cheers. They've had a lot to cheer about so far.
They sure do. And, I remember how psyched they were back in the 08 championship game, and I'm sure they're going to be headed to Pittsburgh if we
I will be too. We'll see what happens.
Okay, I will be too.
We'll all be there.
That's right, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Not yet. Not yet. Let's see if we can get there. It's 2nd down and goal at the 3. 35 seconds to go, second quarter. Handoff Smith up the middle, and she get in. It's at the goal line, and she was just short. Just short.
Another timeout.
27 seconds, and the Chicago Force are going to call their last timeout. So it's 3rd and goal, just outside the 1. I think they're going to mark it right at the 1-yard line. So it's 3rd and goal at the 1, 27 seconds to go. The Force will have no more timeouts, so you almost have to have 2 plays ready here on 3rd down.
I tell you right now, for Boston Militia, I know right now if I was them going into halftime, I don't want to be down 21 points. I'd rather be down, anyone would rather be down 14 points, but a game like this where both offenses are so powerful, that's a lot of catching up to do. So I know right now this is a huge turning point, I think, in the game, because Force has a chance to break it wide open, and Coach Konecki is concentrating on making the right call right now.
Andy Garcia alongside the Hall of Famer Pam Shafrath. Glad you could join us on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB. A beautiful night of football here in the conference championship.
It's good to be here, and I know there's a lot of people listening to us tonight. I came back from vacation for this game because I couldn't miss it. I actually want to give a shout out to my wonderful family up in Michigan, especially my little niece Addison. But I know they're watching. I know we have a former player out in California watching. Good Jess McPeak, old linebacker, big player in the day. She's watching. Want to say hey to her too.
Here we go. 3rd and goal at the 1. Grisafi lost it. She lost yards. They were going to take it right up the middle. Now they've got to hurry. With 20 seconds, it's 4th and goal.
But I think they're ready
here. They
here.
lost a yard. They have no timeouts.
No, you're right. They got to get back. Maybe she can get in there and
I had them down have already taken a timeout. I thought they already took 3 timeouts.
No, I think he's not worried. He wanted to wait till the end here.
But I have a bigger problem that they had no more timeouts. Remember, they took a timeout early, and then they took 2 timeouts here.
Well, hopefully.
Now maybe they had a timeout that I could be wrong. Maybe Boston called a timeout, but
well, referees are keeping track.
It looks like the Force got the timeout. I am down for no timeouts, but with 8 seconds to go, we have a timeout, and the Force will have it 4th and 1 at the 1-yard line.
Big play here, Andy. Chicago Force can break it open, and I think this is going to be tough for Militia to come back 3 touchdowns. They got to come out with some huge adjustments in the second half if they get scored on right here.
So it's 4th and goal. They're going to mark it at the 2-yard line. If you have a play that you want to run and you know can score, this is the play.
And I have a feeling I know which play is going to be run here, Andy. And that's their bread and butter play.
4th and goal at the 2. This would be a huge stop for the Boston Militia. Before the half, if you're a Force fan, this would make the score almost a 21-point lead. 8 seconds to go. Grisafi in the tight formation. And then we get a timeout to see if the Militia call for timeout, and they do. Head coach Derek Beasley calls for time. And the head coaches will bring both their teams together again. Now no teams with timeouts. Everybody's used their timeouts. 8 seconds to go. The Force up 28-14, but it's 4th and goal at the 2 for Chicago.
I want people to watch number 21 on this next play. She's going to be the lead block on this play. Or I'm calling a quarterback keeper here. You never know. For the
I would
touchdown.
rather go with Melissa Smith. I do your bread and butter. You go to
Brenda,
the right.
I agree with the lead block by Becky Tewstead, who is just money. But I got to tell you, I wouldn't be. We'll see what happens. But
I would go to that right side where you've got Roz Bennett,
Wanna
you've
put
got
money on
Jamie
it?
Menzek. No, we can't bet on the air. That's that's like broadcasting rule 101. No
Okay.
betting on the air.
Shoot, you got to give me those rules.
I'll give you the handbook.
Okay.
Teams come out of their huddle. Again at the half, we'll recap all the first half.
Yes, we will.
A lot of scoring, a
recap.
lot of stuff going on. 28-14 Chicago. Force now with 4th and goal at the 2. 8 seconds to go. Smith, the lone running back in the backfield. Tight formation. Grisafi gets a snap. Hand off to Smith to the right side, and she's in. Touchdown, Chicago Force. I should have made that bet. 34-14. Chicago up by 20 with the PAT to come.
That is huge. You were right, Andy. They went with their bread and butter play. And I got to tell you, I don't know who can stop that I formation. And that's without Tammy Engelman in there, who's a big part of that formation, who's hurt. I know they were playing for her out there. But you know what? Typical Chicago Force, they have someone to fill in. And they scored on that play. And I got to tell you, that broke it open right there. And that might be a huge play in the game. Huge momentum shift.
Melissa Smith with her 4th rushing touchdown of the game, her 29th of the season. The kick for the PAT is up, and Sharby's PAT is good with 4 seconds to go in the second quarter. It's the Chicago Force 35, the Boston Militia 14.
God, Trish Sharp's looking like a college/professional kicker out there. She's fun to watch.
Yeah, she is kicking the heck out of the ball tonight.
She's even got like the look. She's got like her pants and like her socks are down like all the kickers do, and the way she runs off the field, her stance, she's looking good. I love to see it.
Perfect 4th down play. You run all the clock off, and you score on 4th down with just 4 seconds to go. Melissa Smith with her 4th rushing touchdown of the first half, and we have a second half to play still. 35-14. Chicago Force.
Like I said earlier, Andy, whenever you kick to Whitney Zealy, you have got to be careful because she's a threat on any kickoff. I'm thinking maybe Sharp is thinking not to kick to her here. I think that would be smart. It's like not kicking to the Bears player. Who's the Bears player that's
Devin
really
Hester.
You don't want to kick to Devin Hester. You don't want to kick to Whitney Zealy. But I just think, like I said earlier, you can't give Boston Militia anything. So right now, the momentum's your way. You broke it wide open with that touchdown. Don't give them a run back here.
Quick note, I got a note from George Howell, the media relations from the Chicago Force from the sidelines. Tammy Engelman is out for the rest of the game with an Achilles injury. So Tammy Engelman will be out.
That's not good.
As we get the kickoff, Sharby, little bounce kick.
I like that.
Touched. Militia will down it at the 44-yard line, and the clock will run out. The horn sounds, and we've reached halftime.
Wow.
We've reached the half. It's the Chicago Force 35, the Boston Militia 14. More to come. Halftime festivities as you're listening to Chicago Force Football on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB.
WJOB Hammond.
Hey, it's Michael D. Stewart. Been here for 8.5 years at WJOB and WJOB1230.com. It's been a while, but we finally got our video stuff up and running. We're excited about it. All the great opportunities available right here on WJOB1230.com. It's coming to fruition. Absolutely. And let's drink to that, my friends, as WJOB moves into the 21st, 22nd. We're ready for the 24th century right here at WJOB 1230. Once again, Michael D. Stewart, the Stu Band, Program Operations Manager. I just call myself Support Technical Entertainment Worker, Stu, for lunch. There you go, buddy. WJOB. Cheers.
Spin Nightclub is a sponsor of our Game Day MVP Award. At the end of each home game, we select an offensive and defensive player of the game. Spin Nightclub offers a comfortable and friendly environment for everyone, located at the corner of Belmont and Halsted. MOR is proud to be the team physician to the Chicago Bulls, Blackhawks, and your Chicago Force. That's Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. www.rushortho.com. Athletico. Isn't it about time you came off injured reserve? Schedule a complimentary injury screening at any of our convenient locations and receive personal attention by a licensed medical professional. Complimentary injury screenings are free, easy to schedule, and most importantly, provide you with peace of mind. Call 1-877-ATHLETICO or visit us online at athletico.com to find a location near you. Athletico, the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training to the Chicago Force.
Just about to start the second half here in this conference championship, the WFA Women's Football Alliance. The Chicago Force up 35-14 on the Boston Militia. Andy Garcia alongside the Hall of Famer Pam Shafrath. Chicago Force football brought to you by Spin Nightclub, by Hop House in Rogers Park, by Hot Doug's in Chicago, by Athletico, by Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, and by Buffalo Wild Wings in Evanston. Before we kick it off, Pam, give us some quick keys for the second half for both teams.
Well, I think for the Boston Militia, obviously they're going to have to make some adjustments on defense to stop the Force offense, especially the red zone offense that the Forces run. So I think the key to any football game, when you're down like this, you got to make some adjustments to try and get back. So that I think the biggest adjustment has to be the Militia to stop the Force offense. For the Force, they got to keep executing their game plan, and if they do, they're going to win this game.
Snyder kicks it off for Boston, back deep. Ashley Berggren at the 14-yard line. 15, 20 to the 30, still on her feet, gets to the outside, near side to the 40-yard line, then she's gang tackled at the 45-yard line of the Force. Nice kickoff return from Ashley Berggren, and the Force will start with good field position in the second half, 35-14. The Force up by 21.
God, I'd like to see that. That's a football player right there. You know, on a kickoff like that, a lot of times you get hit, and you get that first hit, you get tackled, but not Ashley Berggren. It took more than one hit to get her tackled on that, and it goes to show you the energy that the Force still has on this opening kickoff. I'd like to see that.
The Force will start with the ball. A huge touchdown there with 4 seconds to go in the first half because the Force were getting the ball. Grisafi in the shotgun. Fakes the screen to the one side, now he puts the screen to the gray on the near side. Cuts inside, and she may have gained 1 yard up to the 46-yard line. Second down and 9 for the Force. Nice tackle from number 36, Jessica Pinta, and number 8, Jay Hodge.
Well, I think you're going to see the national champions here, their defense.
They're not going away.
They're not going away, and they don't want to be embarrassed. They want to come out and get their offense back on the field, so they're looking for a 3 and out here is what they're doing.
Second down and 9 at the Force 46. Grisafi in the shotgun. Force spread it out, handoff Smith. Up the middle, breaks a tackle at midfield. 45 on her feet at the 40. Breaks one tackle, and then she's tripped up at the 35-yard line, just outside the left hash mark. First down and 10 for the Force. Another first down run, and we're going to get a flag. And this might be on the sidelines. We'll see what happened here. It's a first down for the Force, but then a flag. And it's going to be a sideline violation on head coach John Konecki.
Oh, man. Mistakes. We don't want those kind of mistakes.
Should be a warning, though.
I think it is.
It is. Sideline violation on head coach John Konecki. That's a warning, so it'll be first down for the Force. A nice run from Melissa Smith. The ball will be at the 36-yard line of the Boston Militia.
Number 57 had Smith in her grasp in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage, didn't tackle her. That's going to be key They got to do that.
Grisafi, shotgun, moves to her right now, throws on the run to Brandy Serta. On the outside, got nothing. Nice stop. On the nice play, I believe that was 45, it is, the Boston Militia, Vicky Eddy. Nice stick.
That's a quick pattern, just stop and go pattern by Brandy Serta, and the militia totally read that play, made a good play. If you notice, we had 2 receivers we haven't seen in the first half here. Coach Konecki might be keeping his players fresh here, like we said from beginning of the game. We see 2 receivers now that we haven't seen in the first half.
Loss of 2, second down and 12 for the Force. Ball at the Militia 38-yard line. Hatcher in motion. Grisafi all alone, waiting for the snap in the shotgun. Quad receivers now to the right. Zuby, the lone receiver, to the left. Grisafi takes it right up the gut. Pushes the pile to the 36-yard line. Grisafi stuck her head in there.
Oh, I love it.
Got some yards. May have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now, on that play, Andy, Militia's reading pass with the 4 receiver set. They're reading pass. But that was a good play by the defensive line because Sammy ran with the ball. So that's heads-up defense by Boston Militia.
3rd and 10 at the 36. Grisafi, hand off to Hatcher. Bounces to the outside, now cuts back in. Gang tackled at the 33-yard line, between the 33 and 32-yard line. Gain of 4, it's going to bring up 4th down and 6. 12 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. The Force are up 35-14.
You know, we got to take our hats off to the Boston Militia defense right now because Coach Konecki's throwing a lot of deception at them right now, and they're standing up to the task here at a crucial point in the ballgame.
4th and 7, the Force go for it. Grisafi looking to go on the near sideline, and it's going to be incomplete, but it's going to be a pass interference. We have 2 flags. There was a flag that came in very early on the play, and then we're going to get the pass interference on the near sideline against Trish Harper. Harper went up for the pass and was interfered by the receiver, by the defender, but there was a penalty before that. So we've got a couple hankies on the field.
I don't know if they're going to call a push-off by Harper, but it looked like she was in perfect position, and I think that's going to go against the Militia here, and that's going to be a big penalty. We talk about mistakes. That would be another mistake that Force might be able to capitalize on.
4th down and 7 was the play. The official will give us the signal. Too many men on the field. Too many players on the field for Boston. And that's going to be the penalty that is not accepted. The pass interference will be accepted.
Which makes sense because you're going to get better field position.
It's going to be 1st down. See where the officials mark it down, but this is going to be a great penalty for the Chicago Force. So the 2 penalties were both on Boston. Head coach John Konecki of Chicago took the pass interference, and it's going to be 1st down and 10. No, check that, 1st down and goal at the 10-yard line of Boston.
I stressed this earlier, Andy. Force has got to take care of the ball, but I like that the ball is in Sammy Grisafi's hands right now with the veteran quarterback she is.
See if the Force can push this lead to 28. The Force will spread it out. Quad receivers again. Hatcher in the backfield with Grisafi in the shotgun. Grisafi, hand off, Hatcher. Tries to get inside, should be taken down hard by number 95.
That's a good tackle right there.
Sade Williams. And a loss of 1 on the play. That's a good tackle from Sade Williams. They'll bring up 2nd down and goal from the 11-yard line. That's how you tackle somebody.
That's right. You know, I talked about being physical, and, you know, tackle football is physical, and the good teams are physical. And, you know, this isn't powder puff football. This is real tackle football. And you
the
don't
championship's on the line.
Yeah, championship. And you don't make friends playing tackle football. So I like to see that type of hitting, and, you know, that's what you want in a game like this. And I think right now Boston, like I said, I think the Force defense is being more physical than Militia. Now I think Militia's trying to get that edge and momentum.
The Force have had the ball for more than 4 minutes. Start of the 3rd quarter, 35-14, 2nd down and goal from the 11. That B-squared tight formation. Grisafi hand off to Smith. Tries to get inside and she can't. She stood up inside the 11-yard line. May have gained 3 inches. It's going to bring up 3rd down and goal. They'll call her down at the 10-yard line.
This is a big stop for Militia. Remember we talked about earlier when they were down by 2 touchdowns, 21-7. This is the same position they're in, even though they're down 3 touchdowns. They need a stop here because if the Force scores, I don't know if there's enough time in this ball game to catch up. So I think this is a huge point of the ball game, even though there's been several. But the defense here for Militia needs to make a stop.
The clock is still running. You like to see this if you're a Chicago Force fan, too.
Yes, you do.
Force have had it for 5 minutes. 3rd and goal from the 10. Force will spread it out. Quad receivers to the left, to the right. Grisafi, a little shovel pass to Hatcher. Inside, nice tackle, though, from number 57
really nice
of the
tackle.
Boston Militia, Alicia Harris. Didn't let Hatcher get inside. It's going to bring up 4th and goal from just inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. 4th and goal from the 9. See if the Force can add to the 35-14 lead.
Remember at halftime, Andy, they talked about adjustments? I believe that Boston Militia on defense made some adjustments, and you could see here, just on these running plays, that their defense has made some adjustments, and it shows that they need to start making some stops on running plays.
4th and goal from the 10. Grisafi in the shotgun, looking to throw, has Zuby, it's deflected away. Nice play from
Very
number 24, Brianna Gallo. She's made a couple nice plays, and the Force will turn it over on downs. Boston Militia will take over at their own 10-yard line. 9:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Militia down by 21. It's 35-14.
Brianna Gallo is one of their good defensive players there. She was in perfect position on that slant play. And you know what? I like that call to Albion and Zuby. They've been connecting all year, Sammy and her. And it's a good call, but a really good stop by Boston Militia. I think that was key. If Boston gets back in this ball game, that's the key stop. I'm calling it right now.
You may not have gotten points, but you did take a lot of the time off. 5 minutes, 40
you did.
seconds.
And I believe that's a little strategy right now on purpose for Coach Konecki.
Boston Militia take it over at their own 10-yard line. Allison Cahill. Receiver in motion, handoff Zeeley, right up the middle. Breaks 1 tackle, and then you got to the 10-yard line. That's good defense from number 32 again, Amber Burns. Trying to stop Whitney Zeeley is not easy. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
They've been pretty successful today going straight up the middle in the AB gap against the Force. Those are C gaps, off tackle plays. They haven't been really successful with those off tackle plays. That was an off tackle play for Boston Militia, and the Force stopped them once again. But that AB gap with Zeeley, you need to be careful of because you get her in the open field, she's gone.
Cahill will be in the shotgun for the Militia. 2 receivers to the left, to the right. Zeeley in the backfield. Force looking to get some pressure. Cahill's going to throw it deep. On the near sideline, it's going to be deflected away. They tried to get it to Amy Sauer, but a nice deflection from Pebbles. Emma Finestone, incomplete, brings up 3rd down and 9 for the Boston Militia.
Amy Sauer, one of their all-stars, one of their top receivers, doesn't surprise me. They do just a regular pattern, out pattern downfield. She's going to try and beat Emma Finestone because she has more size than Emma Finestone, but I got to tell you, Emma Finestone, first game back, is having one of her best games of her career.
Got one of those big casts on the right hand.
She
looks like a big club.
She doesn't care.
Bring up 3rd down and 9, ball at the Militia 10. 8:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Force up 35-14. Cahill in the shotgun. 4 receivers. Cahill gets a snap, moves to her right, looking to throw on the run, and it's going to be caught by Sauer at the 20-yard line, close to the 1st down. Taken out of bounds by Finestone, but it's going to be enough for the 1st down. 1st down and 10 for the Militia, and the Boston drive continues.
I got to tell you, I said the key to this game in the beginning, Boston Militia had to stop the Force pressure. Almost didn't do it that time, and that was all Cahill on that play, I think.
Nice run on the run.
Cahill threw a blind pass to her.
Throw.
She threw a blind pass to her receiver there, Sauer. And Sauer, all Cahill, all Sauer, that's a sign of 2 great players right there.
Under 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 1st down and 10 for the Militia, ball at the 20-yard line. Same formation, Cahill now moves to her left. Looking to run, now she's going to throw it. On the run, and it's caught. To the receiver on the far sideline, they're going to be a hit. Late hit. The catch.
Can't have those mistakes.
Catch was made by Amy Sauer, and when she was out of bounds, got hit by one of the Force defenders.
I think it was Burns.
Amber Burns is going to give the Force, or check that, give Boston an extra 15 yards. 1st down and 10 for Boston.
I got to tell you, Andy, coming from experience in a big game like this, you've got emotions flying, you're intense out there. And Burns on a hit like that, it's hard to stop those sideline hits. I've been there, believe me. I got called for several of those. And it's hard to stop. but it's not. You've got to be very careful in an important game like this. Like I said earlier, we've got to limit mistakes. That's a big penalty for Boston Militia to take advantage of.
Halfway through the third quarter, first down and 10 for the Militia at their own 47-yard line. Cahill under center, handoff to Tamfu up the middle, gets to inside force territory and should be taken down at the 47-yard line.
Darcy Leslie all over the field tonight with that tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tamfork for a lot of this ball game here to try and keep her and Zealy fresh, because they might be using both of them now throughout this game. That was a B gap play. Like I said, that A-B gap is one of their successful running plays.
It's going to bring up second down and 4, gain of 6 on first down. Cahill will be under center. Offset eye. Fakes a handoff and then rolls to her right. Looking to throw on the run, and it's caught. Nice catch, taken down at the 32-yard line. Nice catch, though, from Adrian Smith. Another first down for Boston. Chalking up the yards a little bit here on this drive. This is their first drive of the second half. Down to the 31-yard line. First down and 10 for Boston.
Adrian Smith on the season, 9 catches for 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. Watching Smith on that pattern, that was a perfectly run pattern. Crisp and sharp, that's what you want in a receiver. A lot of faith, Cahill and her receiver on that play. Looks like they're going to really balance offense attack here with keeping defense on their toes.
Cahill will hand it off to Tamfu. Has some yards on the outside, gets inside the 20-yard line. Nice little power eye, just go right up there. Cuts to the outside, and another first down for Boston. Inside the 20-yard line of the force, they're going to mark her down. Looks like at the 17-yard line? 17-yard line. Force now, defense has to step up. 5:45 to go in the third quarter. 35-14 Chicago.
This is typical Boston, Andy. They do run and pass well, and they keep it balanced. When they keep it balanced like that, it's hard for a defense to stop them. They're playing typical Boston offense football right now. This is tough to stop.
First down and 10 at the 17. Cahill is going to roll to her right again. Looking for a receiver. No one open. Now she's going to run. Looking to get to the outside. She does. She gets to the 15-yard line, to the 14. Pushed out of bounds by Burns. Kim Marks. Some positive yardage on first down for Boston.
Marks a little quiet today, but I think she's doing a good job today, reading her keys, keeping everything inside. Good tackle on that play, but I've got to tell you, all Cahill on that play. That's a veteran quarterback making a good decision because all her receivers were covered, and that's a really good decision to take it and run. And like we said earlier, she's a really good runner.
Ball will be marked down at the 14-yard line. Second and 7. 5 minutes ago, third quarter. We've had no scoring yet here in the second half. It's 35-14 Chicago. Boston, though, is on the door. Knocking away, see if they can get a touchdown. Cahill in the offset eye on second down and 7. Donaldson in motion. Cahill, handoff to Tamfu. Looks to cut inside. Yes. She does, but she's tripped up. Nice play from Darcy Leslie. Tripped up Tamfu, and it's going to bring up third down and 4.
Big all-star play by Darcy Leslie there. She had contained on that play. Tim Fork had nowhere to go on that play, had to go inside, no yardage in the middle there. Great coverage by the Force defense.
3rd and 5 from the 12. Force up 35-14.
I got to say, Coach Lewandowski, Force defensive coordinator, really has had this team ready to hold Boston Militia to 14 points in the third quarter. That's a huge feat.
Now the wishbone in the backfield on 3rd and 5 with 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Cahill under center. Looks over the defense, gets a snap, fakes a handoff, now an option play to Tamfu. Inside, she's taken down at the 10-yard line by 21. That's Punk. That's Tewstead. It's going to bring up 4th down and 2.
God, what
Call
a big
it 3.
play.
4th down and 3 at the 10. Nice stop from Punk. Number 21, Rebecca Tewstead.
Veteran.
That was a nice stick.
Veteran middle linebacker. That's her zone right there. That's what middle linebackers dream of. When the running back cuts back into your zone and you make a big hit like that, that's the job of a middle linebacker. And not only that, job of a veteran middle linebacker in a big game, making big plays like that.
Big fourth down coming for the Boston Militia, so head coach of the Boston Militia, Derek Beasley, is going to call for a timeout. Their first timeout of the second half. Comes with 3:17 to go in the third quarter. The Chicago Force 35, the Boston Militia 14. I don't mind this timeout right here, Pam, because you need to make sure you get the play you want. It's 4th down and 3. You've got to score on this drive.
I agree. I think Militia knows they have to score. They have to put some points up on the board here to stay in this ball game. I think that's a good call by the Coach Beasley of the Militia. But we got to take our hats off to these coaches here. God, I mean, you look at these teams. Behind every great team is great coaches. And, I mean, this is so amazing to see for me how far women's football has come along, and a big part of it is because of the coaching. And, you know, I got to think about Coach Konecki. He got beat last year in his hometown. He got beat last year on this field to make it the national conference. He's got a little ego going on right here. He wants to beat those coaches right now.
Here comes a big play. 4th down and 3 for Boston. Ball at the Force 10-yard line with 3:17 to go, third quarter. Wishbone backfield. Cahill under center. The defense rises on their feet. Hand off to Zealy. Gets to the outside, and she's going to score.
Woo!
Whitney Zealy will score from 10 yards out, and Boston is on the board. It's 35-20 with the PAT to come.
The only way, Andy, that Boston stays in this game is if they score there, and that's the sign of a championship team, is staying in this ball game, being 21 points down. They know they want to keep their national championship status. They got to score there, and they did. This is two great teams going at it. This is a great game to watch, and I got to tell you, that was a big play by Boston Militia. Big drive.
Snyder in for the PAT. See if she can cut it down to 14. The kick is up. The kick is good. 3:11 to go in the third quarter. New score, the Chicago Force 35, the Boston Militia 21. Whitney Zealy has her second rushing touchdown of the game, her 19th of the season.
All right, now, Force offense is thinking, take care of the ball, limit your mistakes, eat the clock, get a long drive and score right now. That's what the Force is thinking. Militia's thinking, turnover, turnover, getting that ball back as quick as they can. So that's the mentality going on right now, and I just think Force has got to, they got to take care of the ball and they got to keep executing. Love this song. They're playing a good song right now.
35-21, the Force will get the ball back. Plenty of time to go in this football game. Again, the Women's Football Alliance. This is the conference championship.
I actually see my mom dancing down there.
Oh boy. Now we see where you get your moves from.
That's right, that's right.
She's dancing pretty good though.
She is.
This is the National Conference Championship. The American Conference Championship between San Diego and Dallas is happening right now. The two winners of those games will meet as Snyder bounces it up the middle. Zuby will pick it up at the 26. Middle of the field, 35, and she'll be spun around and taken down at the 37-yard line. And that's where the Force will take over with 3:02 to go here in the third quarter.
This Militia defense has a lot of pride, Andy, just like this Force defense has a lot of pride. Right now, they're taking their team on their shoulders. They know they got to get the ball. Their offense has got to get the ball back. So I got to say, I want to say hats off to the Militia defensive coordinator. They made some adjustments in at that halftime, and it's shown.
They'll officially mark it down at the 38. Force up by 14. Grisafi trips to the left. Now Serta in motion. Grisafi in the shotgun. Bad snap, and she's going to have to down it. Bad snaps, and Melissa Smith and Grisafi just jump on the ball and go to their knees, and we'll play another down. Big loss on first down for the Force.
Okay.
Hopefully not a lot of nerves coming in here.
Yeah.
Plenty of football left. It's going to bring up second down and long back at the 32-yard line.
Okay, right now the Force has to take a deep breath, look at the scoreboard, know they're winning by 14 points, stick to their game plan, stay focused, stay even-keeled. They've got to keep thinking that right now.
Loss of 6. Second down and 16. Grisafi in the shotgun has Smith to her left. Gets a snap, hand off to Smith. Up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, up to the 37-yard line. She may have gotten back the 6 that they lost. It's going to bring up second down, make that third down, and 11. Third down and 11 from the 37-yard line. 2:15 to go third quarter. The Force up 35-21.
big third down play right now for the Forest's offense. They get a stop. Militia gets a stop here right now. It's going to be key.
Grisafi in the shotgun. Has trips to her right. Hatcher in the backfield. Grisafi with the shotgun snap. Now a little screen to Hatcher. Has room at the 35. Up to the 40, and then she's knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Well short of the first down. It's going to bring up 4th down and 8 at the 40.
That's a big play by Brianna Gallo right there, man. She made up some ground in between that catch. Brandy Hatcher looked like she had a lot of running room. She made up that ground. That's a sign of a good defensive back. Good open field sideline tackle, which I'm sure they practice a lot. Brianna Gallo with a big hit on the sideline. I think they're going to force the Force to punt right now.
They are. Head coach John Konecki is going to punt it away. Tricia Charbonneau, this will be her 18th punt of the season. Her longest is 48. Her average is 34 yards per punt. Back deep, number 80. Bonds. Nice kick
Great
from Charbonneau.
punt.
High
Great punt.
in the air. And it's bobbled by Bonds. She's going to have to go down on it at the 35-yard line.
Ooh, that was close.
It was high in the air. Bonds went up, tried to catch it, bobbled it, and then had to go on the floor to get it.
I like to see that. You know who almost picked up that fumble recovery? Dawn Peterson. And guess who Dawn Peterson is? The snapper, the long snapper. I love to see that. That's a lot of hustle downfield. But I got to tell you, right now, we know Militia could score fast, right, Andy? The Force does not want the Militia to score fast because I don't want to make the Force does not want to make this a one touchdown ball game with the Militia right now.
Militia have it with exactly 90 seconds to go in the third quarter. They've scored once already in this quarter. They've outscored the Force 7-0 in the third quarter, a 10-yard touchdown run from Whitney Zeeley. It's 35-21 Chicago. 3 and out for the Force on their last offensive drive.
Only one score this half, Andy. That's really opposite of the first half.
Allison Cahill, quarterback of the Militia, comes up, fakes the handoff, now gives it off to Sauer in the backfield. Breaks one tackle, now gets up to front and fumble. Ball's on the floor, and the Force pick it up. Who's got it? It's a loose ball at the 40-yard line. A fumble from Amy Sauer on an end around, and the Force got the football. It's Chicago Force football. Nice takeaway for the Chicago Force. Who's going to come up on the bottom with it? It's going to be number 45, Doreen Bridges. Gets the fumble recovery. That's a huge turnover for the Boston Militia, and the Force take over at the Militia 40-yard line.
Big turnover, probably the biggest turnover of the game, Andy. Militia had the ball, getting ready to score, maybe to reduce the lead by one touchdown. We talked about mistakes in a game like this. Right now, Boston Militia has had the crucial mistakes, and the Force is taking advantage of them.
That's a huge turnover. The Force have it with 1:18 to go, third quarter. Now in that B-squared bunch formation. Grisafi, player in motion, tries to get it out to Melissa Smith, and we got a fumble. Fumble, and Smith is going to go back inside Force territory. Grisafi got bumped and tried to pitch it back to Smith. Smith never saw it. Melissa had to go back and get it. A huge loss on first down. We're seeing a little bit of nerves here, but we'll see if Force can get some positive yards on second. Now it's second down and 20 from midfield. Under a minute to go, third quarter.
I think we're seeing a little bit of nerves, but I got to tell you, you got to give credit to the Militia defense right now.
They got in there quick.
They're playing physical. They know what they need to do to win this game, and they're doing it at this point. But these mistakes are hurting them, but they want to get the ball back quick again. They want to get the ball back really quick so they can score because time's running out.
35 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. Probably be the last play of the third quarter. See if the Force try to get it all back. Second down and 20. Grisafi, spread formation. Has Smith to her right in the shotgun. Trips to the left. Grisafi, shotgun snap, handoff Smith. Up the middle, and she may have gotten to midfield. She did. Gang tackled in there, number 95. Sade Williams.
God, the Militia's made some great adjustments.
And that's going to end the third quarter. End of the third quarter as the buzzer sounds, and we're going to the fourth. We'll come back. It's the Chicago Force 35, the Boston Militia 21. You're listening to Chicago Force Football on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB.
WJOB Hammond.
Hey everybody, I'm Jim Deedlow. I'm the morning host here at WJOB. And I'm also one of the guys that's coming up with this great idea that WJOB goes into the next generation and we get a nice video situation going on. And you're watching that right now. Check us out at WJOB1230.com and you'll learn all about our video as we move into the next generation. We're happy to be with you guys, and we're happy to be keeping pace with technological innovation here in the Calumet region. I'm Jim Diedlow. Thanks a lot.
Athletico. Isn't it about time you came off injured reserve? Schedule a complimentary injury screening at any of our convenient locations and receive personal attention by a licensed medical professional. Complimentary injury screenings are free, easy to schedule, and most importantly, provide you with peace of mind. Call 1-877-ATHLETICO or visit us online at athletico.com to find a location near you. Athletico, the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training to the Chicago Force. MOR is proud to be the team physician to the Chicago Bulls, Blackhawks, and your Chicago Force. That's Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. www.rushortho.com.
The Chicago Force, entering its 10th anniversary season, is a proud member of the Women's Football Alliance. The WFA plays under the same full-contact football rules as the NFL. Comprised of 60 teams from across the United States and Mexico, the WFA is the largest women's American football league in the country. From Florida to Oregon and from New England to California, the WFA consists of the best teams in the nation.
Just about to start the fourth quarter, Andy Garcia alongside the Hall of Famer Pam Shafrath. 15 minutes of football to go, and the winner will be in the national championship of the Women's Football Alliance. The Chicago Force up 35-21 on the Boston Militia. It's going to bring up third down in 20. Third down and 20. Ball at midfield. Melissa Smith came off kind of gingerly at the end of the third quarter. She's not in for this play. Grisafi in the shotgun. Gets a snap. Little screen to Zuby on the far side. Breaks one tackle. Now is being taken down inside Force territory, but we're going to get a flag. Looked like the Boston Militia were offsides. Looked like one of the defensive linemen jumped in before the snap. So I believe head coach John Konecki will take the 5 yards, bring up third down and 15.
When you're a defensive lineman, Andy, you're taught to go on the snap of the ball. And sometimes these defensive linemen get really, really excited because they want to beat that snap to get in there, which is what they've been doing. Yeah. But then that's what happens, and these penalties are hurting them right now.
Mm-hmm. Third down and 15, ball at the Militia 45-yard line. Again, the winner of this game will take on the winner of the Dallas Diamonds and the San Diego Surge, playing in the American Conference Championship. The game is underway in San Diego. Third down, 15 for the Force. Grisafi in the shotgun, has Hatcher to her left. Two receivers to the left, two to the right. Grisafi looking to throw. Deep, down the near sideline, has a receiver to Harper, and she dropped it. She was wide open on the near sideline and dropped it. It was right between her hands at the 21-yard line. Incomplete. It will bring up fourth down and 15.
You know, sometimes the easiest catches are the hardest, and I've been there too. It takes a lot of concentration when the ball's right to you and you don't have a defender on you. Sometimes those are the hardest catches to make.
Fourth down and 15. Head coach John Konecki is going to bring in Tricia Charbonneau. Sharby will kick it away. This will be her second punt of the game. Back deep for the Boston Militia will be number 80.
Boston Militia is lucky that Harper didn't make that catch.
Bonds back deep. Nice kick from Charbonneau.
Great kick.
It's going to bounce and take a forced bounce. Going to take a nice force bounce inside the 15-yard line, and the Force will down it at the 14. So Boston will be pinned back deep at the 14, but we know their offense can score. The Force defense is going to have to step up here.
We got a lot of football left, Andy. Boston Militia probably has been here before. They're down 2 touchdowns beginning of the fourth quarter. They know what they need to do. Defense of the Force needs to step up here. They've made a stand all game. They need to keep making a stand here.
For the biggest selection of hot dogs and sausages, go to Hot Dogs in Chicago at 3324 North California Avenue. Doug says there's no two finer words in the English language than encased meats, my friends. 14-17 to go in the fourth. The Force up by 14, 35-21, but the Boston Militia have it at their own 14-yard line. Cahill in shotgun, quad receivers, running back to her right.
We'll see if they keep this balance offense attack going here in this second half.
Zealy is the running back. Bonds in motion. Cahill gets a snap, steps back, looking to throw. Pressure, she's going to throw it deep, and she's got a receiver. Adrian Smith at the 35-yard line, caught and then taken down by Bridges, but a nice gain for the Militia up to the Force 38-yard line. Nice throw, nice catch from Smith.
Number 10, Adrian Smith, had a little bit of a step on Dorian Bridges there, and Cahill, veteran quarterback she is, put it where it was perfect, right in the numbers, and made that catch.
This clock cannot go fast enough for the Force. They're going to have to make some plays here on defense. First down and 10 for Boston at the Militia 38-yard line. Same formation, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Zealy to the right of Cahill. In shotgun. Weinberg in motion, handoff Zealy. Tries to get to the outside and does. 40, 45, cuts inside, has to break 1 tackle and she doesn't. Tripped up by Dorian Bridges, but she's deep inside Force territory. Marked down at the 36-yard line. Nice run from Whitney Zealy. She's got the speed to get to the outside, and she was 1 tackle away from taking it to the house.
Not only does she have the speed to get to the outside, she follows her blocks and makes the cuts when she has to. You know what she reminds me of? A lot of Steven Jackson of the Rams.
Yes.
She has that speed and strength, and she knows when to make cuts for those defensive players. You know, when defensive players are following those cuts, it's tough because she's got the speed. You can't catch up to her.
13 minutes to go here in the fourth. It's 35-21 Force, but the Militia are moving down the field. Cahill in shotgun, looking to throw. On the far sideline, has a receiver, and it's caught.
Woo!
No, dropped.
Yes!
Sauer had it, but then went to the floor and then dropped it. Nice defense from Feinstone, but the throw was there to Sauer. Sauer just couldn't make the catch.
You know
Second
what?
down and 10.
She had it in her hands, but you know what? Emma Feinstone wants to go to the Super Bowl. You know why?
Why?
She made a hard tackle there, but that made her drop that ball on the ground.
Nice throw from Allison Cahill. Amy Sauer couldn't come up with the catch.
Great.
Second down and 10 from the 36-yard line.
These Boston receivers are running some great routes, and Cahill, the veteran quarterback she is putting the ball in a position for them to catch. She's doing a great job right here.
Allison Cahill's had a nice game.
She sure has.
Whitney Zealy's had a fantastic game.
So has Tim Fork. I mean, offensively.
Second down and 10, and it's going to be a stop on the run. Tamfuk tried to take it to the left side. She was met there by Kim Marks and Jen Dulski. Nice stop on second down, a loss. It's going to bring up third down and long. We'll see. Well, we have a flag on the play, though, and it's going to be a offsides on the Force.
Ooh.
A penalty that hurts the Force. You make a big stop, but the Militia are going to get 5 yards.
I think that's one reason why Dulski got in there pretty quick. I think she just was ahead of the snap on that, but big play by Dulski, big hit, but you gotta be a little more patient right there.
So it's going to bring up second down and 5. Ball at the 31-yard line. The clock is moving. 12:30 to go in the fourth quarter. The Force have not scored here in the second half.
I would love a turnover here by the Force right now. Turnover will stick the knife in and turn it, Andy.
Second and 5. Cahill, I formation. Zealy the up back. Check that. Donaldson the up back. Zealy the far back. I formation. And again, the Force come up and put some pressure. We'll see if the Force went over the line. See if it was offsides, but I think this is going to go back. I think the Militia moved.
I do too. I think it's an offense on the line.
It is.
Yep. That's big.
Legal motion on Boston. It's going to push them back 5 yards. So the 5 yards they gained, they lost. It's going to bring up second down and 10.
Andy, remember we talked about line of scrimmage? Whoever wins the line of scrimmage wins a lot of football games. You see a lot of things going on in the line of scrimmage. Remember my markers earlier?
Yeah.
But that's why you're getting a lot of offsides and a lot of movement by the offensive line, because the key to any start of any play in football is that line of scrimmage, and that's what they're trying to do. Each team's trying to win the line of scrimmage right now.
Under 12 to go. The clock is running. 11:50. Second down and 10 for the Militia. In their huddle, see what head coach Derek Beasley and the offensive coordinator Robert Perryman have. Second and 10, ball at the 36 of the Force. 35-21 Chicago. Cahill taking her time under center. Has a receiver to the left, receiver to the right. On second and 10, Cahill fakes the handoff, now moves to her right. Griffin is getting pressure, but it's going to be caught. Picked up by Zealy, still on her feet at the 20, 25, check that, at the 15, and she's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Candace Griffin was on the heels of Cahill, but Cahill got the pass off, and Zealy was wide open on the far sideline. Nice yardage. It's going to bring up first down and 10 for Boston. They're going to mark her down at the 14-yard line.
I can't stress enough, Andy, how well these coaches are coaching this game. You talk about adjustments at halftime. I think the Militia knew they got to get back and win this ball game. They got to make adjustments on both sides of the ball. And we see here that they really have this, they're going into their passing attack. That's a big adjustment for the second half for Militia, and it's working so far.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line, under 11 to play. Cahill moves to her left, looking to throw. Has a receiver, and it's caught at the 7-yard line, spins. The receiver is Catherine Tylander, her first catch of the game, and she's inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. And we'll see if it's enough for the first down. It might be just short. It's going to be just short, second and less than a yard for the Boston Militia at the 5-yard line.
God, what an effort by this Militia team this second half so far. I mean, they're diving for extra yardage. They're diving for catches. I mean, right now they look like a well-oiled machine. They're staying level-headed. Right now, the momentum's shifting a little bit. Force has got to stop them here. At least get a momentum shift for a turnover.
In the wishbone, Cahill under center. Second and 1 at the 5. With the snap to Tamfuk. Gets to the outside, and she will score. Touchdown, Boston Militia from 5 yards out. Tamfuk with her first touchdown of the game. And now the Militia are in.
Wow.
Down only by 8 with a PAT to come.
You think they'll go for 2 here?
There's no need to.
I know, I'm just, he's got a lot of guts.
He could. I would not think this is the play. This is
okay.
where you can make it one possession.
Yeah.
And you got a kicker like Snyder.
Yeah.
Under 10 minutes to go. The PAT. Snyder, kick is up, and the kick is good.
Okay.
9:58 to go, fourth quarter. Chicago Force 35, the Boston Militia 28.
Okay, well, the way the game was going at halftime, Andy, looked like the way the game went last year, but Boston Militia leading at halftime. So going into the second half, it looked like the same exact game of last year, but Force ahead. And the adjustments at halftime the Militia has made has been the story so far this second half. It's been all Militia this second half so far.
Yes, it has.
Adjustments has been a big key. They made some defenses made huge stops on the Force offense, and their offense has adjusted and went to their passing game. And I think, if anything, besides containment for the Force, their secondary, has some holes in it. And I think that's what they're trying to embark on here in the second half. But I got to tell you right now, I didn't want us to get to a 1-touchdown advantage here. We're right now at a 1-touchdown advantage, but I have a lot of confidence in the Force offense here. The Force offense has got to score and not let the Militia get the ball back.
Boston Militia were down by 21, 35-14 at the half. They've outscored Chicago 14-0 here in the second half. It's 35-28 with 9:58 to go here in the fourth quarter.
This is the biggest test the Force is gone against right now at this point in this game.
Snyder kicks it deep, bounces to Zuby, and it goes overhead. It's going to go inside the 5-yard line. Zuby's just going to down it there. She has to pick it up, though. She had to try to get on her feet, but she doesn't. It'll be inside the 5-yard line. Snyder with a nice kick. It went over Zuby's head. Zuby had to go down to the 3 to pick it up and just maybe gain 1 yard. So the Force will start this drive at the 4-yard line, at their own 4-yard line. Again, this is going to be a big drive, though, for the Chicago Force.
Andy, we've seen some really good kicks tonight, haven't we? Punts, kickoffs, field goals. You could tell these two teams are unquestionably the two of the top teams in the WFA, and some people consider this should be the championship game with these two teams.
See what the Force can do. Grisafi will be in the shotgun, sitting in her own end zone. Hand off to Smith. Gets outside, now cuts in at the 10, still on her feet, to the 12-yard line. Nice gain on first down. Second down and 2, gain of 8 on first down.
Now the Force has to remember, this is the biggest test all year right now. They need to get a long drive and possibly score here and not give the ball back to Militia with too much time. This is their biggest test. They've got to keep executing. Remember, they don't have big Tammy Engelman in on this offense. But we got people to fill in. Keep executing for us is what they're thinking.
This Force will spread it out. They do have two receivers in the backfield, the Smith and Brandy Hatcher. Grisafi in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Handoff, Hatcher. Right up the middle, and she gets enough for the first down.
Great.
Past the 15-yard line, then she's tripped up. Under 9 minutes to go in the fourth. The Force up by 7, first down and 10 for the Chicago Force. A new set of downs.
New set of downs. They want to keep getting these first downs. Now, ultimately, you want to drive the field, eat up the clock, and score. Ultimately. But most importantly, Andy, you got to take care of the football right now. You've got to take care of the football. And I know the coach is telling our Force offense that. Take care of the football.
They'll take this snap under 8.5 to go. First down and 10 at their own 15-yard line for the Chicago Force. Force with a 7-point lead. Grisafi in the shotgun as Smith and Hatcher in the backfield. Handoff, Hatcher. Up the middle. May have gotten past the 15, not much after that. Her forward progress got her to the 16-yard line. Second down and 9. It'll be under 8 to play when they get the next snap off.
Boston Militia knows, too, right now, their defense, this is their season, depending on this stand right here. They know that they've got to stop the Force offense, get the ball back, get it to their offense so they can at least tie the game. So this right here is a big, big set of downs for the Militia defense. They know what they need to do.
I'd like to see a play action, see if you can get something to the receivers. It will be second down and 9 at the 16. Grisafi in the shotgun. Hatcher and Smith in the backfield. Grisafi, handoff, Hatcher. Tries to get to the outside, she'll be taken down for a loss. Nice play from the Boston Militia defense.
Very
loss
nice play.
On second down.
Very nice play.
See where they mark her down. At the 15. It's going to be further back than that.
That was a big stop. They read that play to Hatcher the whole game. You know, I think Melissa Smith right now is hurting. I think Melissa Smith, we saw her at the end of the third quarter limp off the field. She's in there right now, but
under 7 to go. 3rd and 11 from the Force 14. Grisafi in the shotgun has Smith to her right. Trips to her right. Receiver to her left. Grisafi letting the time go. Big play here. Grisafi moves to her right. Looking to throw, has a receiver, and it's caught by Zuby. It's going to be short of the first down. Up to the 22-yard line. Zuby with a nice catch. 6:37 to go, and we've got a penalty on the Force. We'll see what was there a flag or?
I don't know.
Yeah, there is a flag on the play. This is going to be brought back.
That's a gutsy play call by Konecki, a pass there close to the end zone. You've got to have the timing down for her to Zuby with that pattern. Zuby ran a great pattern, but that's a gutsy call by Konecki. I think he would have wanted it more at the first down marker, though.
I did not see what the official called, but it was a flag on the Chicago Force. They're going to move him back inside the 10-yard line. This is going to be at the 7-yard line. This is 3rd down and almost 18. 6.5 to go. The clock is running. Trips to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Grisafi under shotgun. 3rd and 18 from the 7. Grisafi gets a snap. Throwing at her own goal line. Throws it deep on the far sideline. We're going to get a flag. Pass interference on the far sideline, and the Boston Militia bench cannot believe it.
That was out of bounds. I don't know about that call, but
well,
I'll take it.
Head coach Derek Beasley says the catch was uncatchable. It went over their head. Now we're going to have to see if the officials talk this over, and they just don't believe this is a catchable ball.
This is a big call right now because this could make a difference in the time clock here for the Militia.
Head coach Derek Beasley, very animated on the Boston bench. Pass interference was called. We'll see if this is a catchable ball. It is. Pass interference on the Boston Militia. That's an automatic first down and a huge play for the Chicago Force.
You know, usually we see those kind of plays go against us, Andy. And I got to say, in the 10 years I've played for the Force, a lot of those plays are usually against us. And to get that play, I'll take it right now. But
Head coach Derek Beasley is not happy on the Boston Militia sideline. 6:14. First down and 10. Ball at the 12-yard line. The Force get fresh set of downs on the pass interference. Grisafi, handoff, Smith. Up the middle, may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, maybe pushed the line forward. And the next snap is going to come under 6 minutes to go.
I got to tell you, that penalty gives the Force a lot of new life and
Well,
a little bit of momentum.
You can almost run another 2.5 minutes off, not even passing the ball, but still here you need to get this offense going.
Depending how many timeouts Beasley wants to take here, but you want to get a first down here.
Boston has 2 timeouts remaining. The Force have 3. 5:42 and counting. The Force up 35-28. The Force will spread it out again. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. They do have Melissa Smith in the backfield. Grisafi in the shotgun. Letting the clock run. Grisafi gets a snap. Hand off Smith, and she bulls one. She had one tackler try to take her down behind the line of scrimmage, but Smith able to stay on her feet and got to the 14-yard line. She may have lost 1. Loss of 1 on the play.
Man.
Third down and 7 with under 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Boston has done an incredible job on their run defense this second half. Incredible. It's been a different team on the run defense, and that's why I said in the beginning of the game, if they stopped the Chicago run defense, they were going to win this game. They made that adjustment in the second half, and that's why the score is there, what it is right now.
Big play here on third down. 3rd and 7 from the Force at their own 15. 4:40 to go in the ballgame. Grisafi moves to her left, a little shovel pass to Hatcher. Gets to the 15, up to the 19-yard line, but it's going to be short of the first down. 4.5 to go. The ball be marked down at the 18, and the Chicago Force will punt it away.
Here we go. There's a lot of time left here.
Head coach Derek Beasley of the Boston Militia got the stop they needed. If you're a Militia fan,
they got the stop they needed even after the penalty. That says a lot about Boston Militia staying in the game.
Back deep, number 80, Shantae Bonds. She will be inside Force territory as Tricia Charbonneau kicks it away. Hopefully get a good snap here for the Force. Under 4 minutes to go. Charby gets a snap. It's good, and the kick is up high. Bonds is going to pick it up at the 40. Moves forward, and this is going to be taken down at the 37-yard line. Nice catch from Shantae Bonds and a lot of traffic. And the Boston Militia will have 3:44 to play and try to tie this up at the Force 37-yard line.
Great tackle. Rebecca Tustad on that punt coverage. You've seen her all over the field today. She wants to get back to that championship. Okay, I've been saying all day, Andy, crucial point in the ball game. This is the biggest defensive stand for the Chicago Force all year. This is the season right here. They're thinking turnover, and you know what? I would love a turnover by the defense. That's what they're thinking. They got to stop them here.
Again, the lead was 21 at the half for the Chicago Force. 14-0. Boston scoring here in the second half. Cahill in the shotgun has a running back to her right, running back to her left. In the shotgun, 3:44 to go. The Militia need a touchdown. Cahill steps back, looking to throw. Now it's going to be taken out of the pocket. Still looking to throw on the run. Now she's going to just take it and run. Marks is going to knock her down at the 33-yard line. Gain of 4. Second down and 6. 3.5 counting on the scoreboard. 3:25, 3:24. The Force up 35-28.
Great decision by Cahill to keep it and run that time. And if you saw Darcy Leslie on that play, she tried to strip that ball from Cahill that time. I think that's a good decision. You want to get a turnover. I look back to our 08 game. We should have done that more with the big running back Jessica Springer. That's a good idea by Darcy Leslie.
Under 3 minutes to go. 2nd and 7 from the 34-yard line of the Force. Allison Cahill in the shotgun for the Militia. Bonds in motion. Cahill gets a snap, going to move to her left. Looking to run. It's got the outside. Zuby's going to try to take her out and does. But Cahill's got enough for the first down, and the clock will stop with 2:47 to go. First down and 10 for the Militia at the Force 23-yard line.
God, she got some key blocks on that outside, and you know what? When you outrun Dolsky and Ashley Berggren on the outside, that's really tough to do because Ashley Berggren and Dolsky are fast. That's a really tough job.
Who's going to make a play for the Chicago Force defense?
telling
Who's
you-
going to step up?
We said it was going to come down to defense. This is it right here. I want a turnover, Andy. I want a turnover. I know we can do it. I know we can do it.
The clock is stopped. 2:47 here in the fourth. The Force up by 7. Boston has the ball. 1st and 10. Cahill in the shotgun. To her left is Zealy. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. It's nail-biting time if you're a Chicago Force fan. Cahill, the snap goes over her head. She's able to get it back on the bounce. Now moves to her right. Looks to throw, and it's just going to be thrown away on the far sideline. A bad snap to Allison Cahill. She was able to get it on one bounce, move to her right, get out of the pocket, and just throw it away. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10, 2:40 on the clock.
You talk about the jitters, Andy. Anytime you're in this position and you got a shotgun from, shotgun offense, that snap is so important in the game. And, your center is all excited. Your center, that line of scrimmage, a lot going on in there. That you got to get that ball to your quarterback. That was a good play by Cahill to get that back.
2nd down and 10. Militia, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Zealy in the backfield with Cahill in the shotgun on 2nd down and 10 from the Force 23-yard line. Cahill gets a snap, looking to throw on the near sideline,
short.
up to a receiver, and it's taken away, deflected away. Adrian Smith was out there for the pass, but Feinstone knocked it away. Incomplete, 3rd down and 10 with 2:34 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Force up by 7.
All right, you got the biggest set of downs, and the Militia makes a mistake on 1st down. 2nd down, you get great coverage by Emma Feinstone, who's had an amazing game. I think the difference in any of this coverage all game, that's 2 plays. 2 plays were the Force. Who's going to make a play? We've made a play both times.
We need a couple more plays. 3rd and 10. 2:34 to go. The Chicago Force fans on their feet.
Biggest crowd we've had all year, Andy.
Trips to the right. 2 receivers to the left. Cahill all alone in the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Nice snap. Looking to run. Griffin's on her back. She's going to throw it, and it's going to be deflected away on the far sideline. Amy Sauer was the intended receiver. Deflected away by number 45, Dorian Bridges. Griffin had a little bit of a blitz coming in. Cahill moved to her right. Got a nice throw out to the receiver, but it was deflected away. On 4th and 10, we come up on 4th down from the 23-yard line.
I got to tell you, Cahill was lucky to get rid of that with that blitz by Candace Berggren. I mean, not Candace Griffin. That was lucky she got rid of that. Little short, great coverage by Dorian Bridges.
Here's the play of the game. 4th and 10. Ball at the Force 23-yard line with 2:29 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Force up by 7.
I'm surprised, Andy, we haven't seen Zealy this second half. In this position, Boston Militia hasn't run their running back here.
And I'm surprised the Militia haven't called for a timeout just to make sure you get the right play here, but head coach Derek Beasley believes they've got it right here in this huddle.
He's got a lot of guts, this coach.
Here we go.
He's been there before.
4th and 10 at the 23. Cahill in the shotgun has 3 receivers on a wishbone in shotgun. No receivers. Now Bonds will come out. Motion to the right. Cahill gets a snap, now throws it to Smith. Backwards, going to throw it deep. Has a receiver, and it's going to be caught. Caught by the Militia on a flea flicker.
Wow!
It is caught down at the 2 by number 80, Shantae Bonds. 1st and goal for the Boston Militia on a flea flicker.
And
what a play from the Boston Militia.
And you know what? That surprises me with the running backs Militia has. And we had the coverage on that. We had the coverage. That was just a great effort. Great effort.
2-minute warning with the Militia. Get a 21-yard completion on 4th and 10 on a flea flicker. Cahill handed it off to Adrian Smith. Smith threw it
to Bonds.
Nice coverage. It was a good throw.
We had the coverage.
At the 2-yard line, taken down there. 2-minute warning, 1st and goal for the Militia at the Force 2-yard line.
Great stand by the Force defense there. Great stand. Coach Lewandowski had him ready. He had the coverage. That was just a great effort by the Militia. They don't want to give up their title just yet, Andy. They don't want to give up that title just yet. Wow, is this an exciting game.
2-minute warning. See if the defense can step up, make some plays, or do you let them score quickly to have some time on the clock?
I don't think I have any nails left. I don't know about you, but
I think you play defense straight up. I don't think you allow the touchdown, because then you bring the question up, does head coach Derek Beasley
go for 2.
have enough guts to go for 2?
I think, with the way he's played this game, he just might. And he might just have a play up his sleeve to go for 2. I don't know if I would, but I don't know. You never know with this coach.
This is to go to the national championship.
I still want a turnover here, Andy.
And the officials get a timeout, and I think the Chicago Force are going to call for a timeout. They do. It'll be the first timeout of the second half of the Chicago Force.
I like this call by Coach Lewandowski. I like this call.
Gives me a chance to talk to you about Athletico. It's about time. Maybe come off injured reserve. Schedule a complimentary injury screen at any of our convenient locations and receive personal attention by a licensed medical professional. Complimentary injury screens are free, easy to schedule, and most importantly, provide you with peace of mind. Call 1-877-ATHLETICO or visit us online at athletico.com to find a location near you. Athletico, the official provider of physical therapy and athletic training to the Chicago Force. Also, the Midwest Orthopedics at Rush is nationally recognized as a leader in comprehensive orthopedic services and sports medicine. MOR is proud to be the team physician to the Chicago Bulls, Blackhawks, and your Chicago Force. That's Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. www.rush-ortho.com. Here we go. First and goal from the 2 for the Militia at the 2-minute warning. The Force were up by 7. Cahill, wishbone formation. Hand off to the up back, and she gets in.
Wow.
Touchdown, Boston Militia. I'll give you the name of the up back.
Donaldson or 90, the defense, the lineman.
I believe it was 99. Beth Coletta. No matter what, it's a touchdown. And I'll give it to Coletta from 2 yards out. With 1:57 to go. Here's a very important PAT.
Number 99, Coletta here. This is a huge
Here's the PAT to tie the game up. High snap, the kick is up, and the kick is no good! The kick is no good! It was a bad snap. They got it down, but it rushed Snyder.
Yes!
Snyder didn't get a good foot on the ball, and it was low to the goalpost. No good, and with 1:57 to go, the Force are up by 1, 35-34 on a bad PAT.
Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that, Andy? Wow, that's huge. That's huge. Special teams comes down to special teams. Huge snap, and they have a good kicker. I mean, this is one of the best kickers in the league.
You get that ball down, Snyder's got it, but it was a bad snap, and the holder had to put it down tight and quick, and Snyder just couldn't get a good foot on the ball. And with 1:57, the Force are still up by 1. The Militia do have 2 timeouts.
Wow.
You might see an onside kick here.
Yeah.
So I'm sure head coach John Konecki put his hands group on the field.
I'm sure he did, and you know what? Coach Konecki practices this stuff, so I'm pretty confident that this kick return team is going to do their job.
Well, the Force have 2 waves like they normally do, 2 levels on the kickoff. You have Zuby deep at her own 15. I would be very surprised if they kick it deep.
I do too.
I would look for the kicker, Ashley Snyder, to kind of just bounce it in. And they do. Here's the onside kick. Right in the middle of the field, and the Force will down it right at midfield. They down it, and the Chicago Force will have the ball. Not a very good kick from Snyder. It only took 2 bounces.
No.
And then the Force player on the bottom of the pile there was able to get it, and then you got some pushing on the bottom of the pile there.
I think it's Berggren.
It is. It's Ashley Berggren who picks up the ball at midfield, goes to her knees, and we have 1:54 still to go. This ball game is not over.
It isn't
the
over.
Militia have 2 timeouts, so the Force cannot run this game out.
No, Force has got to get a first down here.
Oh, you get a first down, it's over.
Force has got to get a first down. This is one of the biggest first downs of Force history right here.
In its 10-year history.
That's right.
You will not see a pass on this at all. You will see Melissa Smith or you'll see Brandy Hatcher come in there, have 2 hands on the ball, and just go forward. Make the Boston Militia use their timeouts. Boston.
With the adjustments the defense has for Militia, what they've done, though, they've made some good adjustments on these running plays, so let's see what happens.
Jamie Menzik also there on the right, but this is going to be an I formation. At midfield, Grisafi, handoff Smith, right up the middle, positive yardage, still on her feet. She may have gained 2. She gets to the 48-yard line, and that's the second timeout for the Boston Militia.
So they got 1 left, right,
They
Andy?
do have 1 left. The Force have 2 timeouts, the Militia have 1. This timeout comes with 1:46 to go. And again, I want to thank our crew tonight here, giving you some great shots if you're watching online. And the audio on AM 1230 WJOB, Rob Cantu, Jeff Corey, Matt McClendon, Chuck Pullen, Ryan Walsh, Stu back at the WJOB studios. I appreciate all the help tonight, guys. And T-Rex is here too. We got the A staff.
We got the A staff.
T-Rex running the board. I mean, we got.
I know. We've had it all year. I mean, they make it happen for us, Andy.
1:46 on this timeout.
I think we should buy them dinner.
No, these guys can eat.
Well,
Did you see the pizza go down? Hello.
Well, maybe we could just go to McDonald's or something.
No. You're paying. 35-34. The Chicago Force up by 1. The Militia
Who
scored
would have thought?
with 1:57, but the PAT is no good.
Not only was that was a tough snap, but we had pressure on that point attempt.
2nd and 8. Person in motion, but Smith gets a handoff and she's got more. 40, 35, 30. She's got 2 hands on the ball. 25, 20, still on her feet before she's taken down. First down, Chicago Force, and that pretty much will seal it. Boston will have to use a timeout with 1:31 to go. With 1:28 officially stopped, the Force will have a first down. Melissa Smith with a huge second down run inside the 20-yard line of the Boston Militia as we have an injury on the field. It is a Boston player? Yes, it is.
I can't tell.
It is a Boston player. Melissa Smith with a huge run. The Militia do have 1 timeout, but they will use it here. They have to stop the clock. So
they have to.
Pretty much, the Force can down it. The Force can just take it back.
Take a knee,
Grisafi
all
can
4,
take
right?
a knee, all 3. And I
Yep.
believe they'll have to take 3 downs to do it, but this ball game should be over if there's not some craziness. Then
Well,
again, this is the WFA.
That's right. And you know what, Andy? This has been one of the best football games I've seen. Not only women's football, men's football, football in general. We're seeing a lot of heart and soul out here, and this just signifies and is a great example of what women's football can be about. Let's hope this player is okay.
Yeah, she's still on the field. The medical staff is taking a look. Again, 1:28 on the clock. The Militia will have to take the timeout here. They have 1 left, so they'll have to take the timeout, which means the Force again can just go back and down it. But you have to watch the snap. Trying to get the number for you. She's now moved up. She's sitting upright.
That's good news.
And the injured player is number 80, Shantae Bonds. Bonds is slow getting up. 1:28 to go. And Pam, it may happen that the Force may not score a single point in the second half and still may score and still may win here.
Which is incredible with the way the first half went. I can't believe it.
Bonds is getting off the field. Hopefully not hurt too bad. And at the 20, the official is going to start the clock. And the Militia have not used the timeout yet, which should happen. 1:28 and the clock is stopped. It should not stop. Grisafi gets a snap and just going to down it. And for some reason, Beasley is not going to use the timeout. Is he going to let the clock run? He has 1 timeout yet left. 1:16, 1:15. The clock is still moving. I would take the timeout now if I was Derek Beasley, but maybe he's going to maybe just concede it. 35-34 Force. This would be a tough loss for the Boston Militia. Remember, they're the 2-time defending champions. They were the WFA champions last year. Came into Evanston and beat the Force.
2 years in a row.
Under a minute to go. This is a victory formation for the Force. Grisafi just letting the clock run. The officials will tell her when they have to get it off. The play clock is not moving on the field as Grisafi takes a snap and gets it.
I don't know about
down
you,
again.
Andy, but I think we're going back. I think we're going back to the championship.
And I believe that might be the last play.
We're going
I don't
back.
think head coach Derek Beasley is going to use the timeout. And head coach John Konecki is going to put his team at midfield.
Yeah!
And that might be the final play. We'll see. The teams are still on the field. The offense may have to play one play just to down it. We'll see, though. Derek Beasley will not use the timeout. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it. The horn sounds. For the first time since 2008, the Chicago Force are in the WFA National Championship. 35-34. The Chicago Force are National Conference champions and will play for the National Championship from 2 weeks from today in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field.
This is awesome. We're going back, Andy. No one deserves it more than the Force. No one.
35-34. The Force win by 1 on a botched PAT. The two head coaches meet at midfield. John Konecki of the Force, Derek Beasley of the Boston Militia. An unbelievable end to this ball game. A huge first down for Melissa Smith that sealed it. And the Chicago Force will play for the National Championship of the Women's Football Alliance. Their second attempt at a national championship.
Wow, this is great.
35-34.
This is awesome. We've been waiting for this day, Andy. All the blood, sweat, and tears the last 4 years to get back. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of injuries, a lot of tough losses. We're going back to the championship. But we got to remember, we're not finished yet. We're not finished yet. We don't need to be satisfied with just going back. We want to take it home this year.
The Force 11-0 now. They had a bye in the WFA first round. Second round beat the Indy Crash. Third round beat Jacksonville. And now here in the National Conference Championship, they beat the Boston Militia. Let's take a break. We'll come back with all the post-game festivities. The Chicago Force are the conference champions, and they move on to the National Championship on Saturday, August 4th, to play in the WFA National Championship. The Chicago Force 35, the Boston Militia 34. More to come if you're listening to Chicago Force Football on chicagoforcefootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB. We welcome you back as the Chicago Force are conference champions and now move on to play on Saturday, August 4th in the National Championship, playing against either Dallas or San Diego at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the WFA National Championship. Andy Garcia, the Hall of Famer Pam Shafrath is gone into the celebration. She's going to see if she can get some guests for us. But just a fantastic game tonight, 35-34. The final score. The Militia made it a game. It was 35-14 at the half. The Force had a 21-point lead, but the Militia came back and got 20 unanswered points. They could have tied it up with the PAT with under 2 minutes to go, and the PAT was no good. 35-34. The Force on that last drive gets some huge runs from Melissa Smith. The final one gives them a first down and will let the clock run out. 35-34. the Chicago Force are national conference champions and move on to take on either Dallas or San Diego in the national championship on Saturday, August 4th at 3 o'clock Central Time. Again, hopefully we can get some players up here, hopefully talk to them and just feel how good it is for about half of this team on this squad this year played in the last national championship when they took on the Dallas Diamonds and lost in overtime on a last-second play. And to get by this block, to get back to the national championship after beating the defending champions. Boston Militia are two-time defending champions. Last year, both of these teams moved to the WFA. So the Militia are WFA champions of last year, and now Chicago Force knock them off. And the Force move on to the national championship. The final score, 35-34. The Chicago Force are conference champions. I can run through the scoring a little bit for you. It started with the Militia getting the 7-0 lead, a 35-yard touchdown pass from Allison Cahill to Shantae Bonds. Bonds' 5th touchdown of the season, made it a PAT good 7-0. 7:37 to go in the first quarter, a 6-yard touchdown pass from Sammy Grisafi to Trish Harper, a fantastic fade pattern. Harper caught it on the near side in the corner for a nice catch, made it 7-7. 2:33 to go in the first quarter, a 3-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith, her first of the game, 26th of the season, made it 14-7 Chicago Force. Then in the second quarter, another 4-yard touchdown run from Melissa Smith, her second of the game, 27th of the season. It was 21-7 Force. 9:48 to go, Boston Militia get back up, 84-yard touchdown run from Whitney Zeeley, her first of the game, 18th of the season, made it 21-14 Force. And then the Force come back, get a stop, and from 14 yards out, Melissa Smith gets a touchdown run, her third of the game, her 28th of the season, 28-14. Then with just 4 seconds to go in the second quarter, Melissa Smith from 2 yards out, her 4th of the game, 29th of the season. It gave the Force a 35-14 lead at the half, but then in the second half, it was all Boston. Boston came out with 3:11 to go in the third quarter, 10-yard touchdown run from Whitney Zeeley, her second of the game, 19th of the season, 35-21 Force. And then 9:58 to go, fourth quarter, 5-yard touchdown run from Tamfook, 35-28 on the PAT. And then with under 2 minutes to go, the Militia get it back. They need a touchdown to tie. They get the touchdown at the 2-minute warning, a 2-yard touchdown run from the big running back, Beth Coletta. And it made it 35-34. The PAT was no good from Snyder. Would have tied up the ball game, a high snap. The holder got it down, but then Snyder wasn't able to get enough foot on the ball. It was low of the goalpost, and the Force get the 35-34 win after the Force get the ball back, and Melissa Smith gets a couple long runs, and the Force are conference champions and move on to the national championship.
Nothing makes me happier.
I mean, you're running up and down, you're back here. What's the celebration like down
Sorry, celebration down there is crazy. We are so happy. I had to get down there for a little bit to see all the players. Nothing makes me happier, nothing makes this team happier than getting back to the championship. But like I said earlier, we don't want to just get back to the championship. We want to win the championship, so we're not done yet. We are excited to get there. We haven't been there since 08. Now we got to stay on the plan a course, and we got to win the championship.
What a win like this, though, for the Chicago Force, and to win in that way, to get a win like that at the end of the ball game, and hey, you know what? We've talked about all year how important special teams is. It's not just a two-phase game. You got your offense, your defense, and special teams, and you know what? It's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. You've got to get those points. That's why they're PATs. They're not gimmies.
I've always said that there's 3 parts of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. I've said it all year, and I'm always very confident with Coach Konecki's, the Forces coach's special teams, because I've been there. I know he works on special teams every practice, and in a game like this, it might come down to special teams, and it did. It came down to an extra point. The Militia makes that extra point. It's a tie ball game, and it goes into overtime. Maybe if we don't score, that's a huge difference. But it came down to, I think, who wanted it more this year, and I think the Force wanted it more. I don't know any team that deserves it more than we do. You know that saying, the harder you work, the luckier you get? I love that saying because I know we've been through a lot of blood, sweat, and tears the last 10 years. And the last 4 years, we wanted to make it back to that championship. And I got to tell you, no one deserves it more than us.
And now we go on to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to play in the first time that a women's football game will be played at Heinz Field in any NFL stadium, and we go to Pittsburgh, Heinz Field, to take on the winner of Dallas and San Diego for the national championship.
It's amazing, and you know, any championship's amazing, but like I said earlier, this championship's pretty special. And you know, we always talk about our 08 loss, and you know, and it was a tough loss, but I think everything happens for a reason. And we've made this journey as a team for 10 years, and I think, you know, we lost in 08. I think because we were meant to win this year, and it's just an amazing story. And I can go on and on about stories of all our players and our coaches. And, you know, you talk about Linda Bechet, who makes this team run, former player, one of the best football players I've ever seen. Now she's owner. She's the heart and soul of this team. I just went down there and saw her. I can't be happier for her. She's been the heart and soul of this team, and she makes it happen, and an opportunity for any woman to play football in Chicago. So that's huge for her, too.
What a huge turnout of fans tonight. This is one of the biggest turnouts I've seen for a Chicago Force football game in a long time, for the fans to come out and show their support for this team and then recognize what these ladies have done all year to get to this point. I mean, you can't say enough about these fans coming out tonight.
No, I think, you know, I said coming into this game, we lost last year to Boston Militia, even though we had the home field advantage, but we're a different team this year. And I think the edge this year was several things, but one of them was the home field advantage with our fans, with our Spirit Brigade, with our announcer, with, you know, our field in Chicago. It's tough to travel and play a national conference game, and, you know, this game was one of the best football games ever played. It was all Militia second half.
Yes.
They made adjustments a little too late, and, you know, like I said, it came down to that extra point. But when you look at the whole game, you got to give your hats off to Militia, because they made some good adjustments in the second half, but we still came out on top because we capitalized on those turnovers.
Once again, the Chicago Force 35, the Boston Militia 34. The Chicago Force are national conference champions in the WFA. They now move on to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In 2 weeks from today, they will play in the WFA National Championship. Do you want to see that Dallas team back? What's your thoughts on that between Dallas and San Diego?
That's a whole nother story. Not only do we make it back to the championship, we have a good chance of seeing Dallas, and we lost to Dallas in 08, so another rematch. And you know what? I would love to see Dallas, actually, because there's so many stories this year. It would just be another story. And you know what? I want to tell the story of a rematch in the championship game, and I want to tell the story that we won. So you know what? I would love to see Dallas in the championship.
It's always great working with you. We'll see what happens. We may have an opportunity of maybe doing a little radio. I do have Linda Bechet, if we can. Maybe let's take a timeout. We'll take a timeout and maybe see if we can have a timeout, and we'll bring in the owner, Linda Bechet, who we'll talk out after
who we
the
just
break.
talked about.
The Chicago Force are conference champions and move on to the national championship. It's 35-34, the Force win over the Militia. You're listening to Chicago Force Football on AM 1230 WJOB and ChicagoForceFootball.com. Welcome back to Chicago Force Football. The Chicago Force are national conference champions and will play in 2 weeks from today in the WFA National Championship. Andy Garcia, alongside one Hall of Famer, Pam Shafrath, and another, the owner of the Chicago Force, Linda Bechet, who sees her team go to the second national championship in this franchise and a chance to win their first national championship. How does it feel?
Fantastic. All week I couldn't sleep. I was so excited. Wanted the game to get here sooner. all the girls felt that way. Just a fantastic win for the organization. We're really excited.
And to go to Pittsburgh and to play in an NFL stadium and to play at Heinz Field for the national championship, I mean, it doesn't get any better.
It doesn't. And, you know, there's 59 or 58 other teams that would like to be in this game, and only 2 of us will be. I understand that we're going to be seeing San Diego Surge.
Oh, the Surge won.
They won.
We were talking about a rematch possibly with Dallas, which would have been nice, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We're playing at Heinz Field, baby.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's go through the first half, because the Force had the 35-14 lead at the half, and then Boston makes their run, and then at the end they miss a PAT. Just the ebb and flow of emotions for you during that game.
Right, because we came out and played such a strong first half, and we had a nice lead, but, you know, everybody was had a lot of fans grabbing me at halftime, and I said, there's a lot of football to be played.
Yep.
And, you know, Boston's 2-time defending champs. I knew they were going to come back and make a run, and boy, did they.
They did. They made a lot of adjustments in the second half. And Linda, I talked about this earlier. Now that we won our conference championship, we're headed to the national championship for the world champion title. I stress this in our broadcast. We're not done yet. So I want you to talk a little bit about these next 2 weeks and what our team needs to keep in their head. Because in 08, we got to the championship and we lost, you know, by the skin of our teeth. And when we look back at that game, you know, we don't want that to happen again. But what matters is we finish it this year. We didn't finish it last time. So in these next 2 weeks, what are you thinking for the team, and what are they thinking? What are the coaches thinking?
The team motto is Force Family Finish. It's all about finishing. You're right. Only one team gets to take home the trophy. So getting there isn't enough. Being, you know, in an NFL stadium for a championship, being a part of history, not enough.
I agree.
Only if we win it all. So it's going to be a lot of preparation. You got to be really dialed in. Some things happened in the second half today that we are not happy with, and those are teachable moments. We're going to go through that in detail.
And I think Coach Konecki and all our coaches really take advantage of those teachable moments, and they come out a different, you know, team when they do, you know, stress those teachable moments, and I think we come out better in the end.
It's going to be a fantastic championship
It
game.
sure is. It sure is. And Linda, you know, I know you're the heart and soul of this team. I know you went out your career on an injury, and it wasn't your choice to go out. Otherwise, I think you'd be on this field tonight. So I know there's a lot of emotion with you tonight. And, you know, looking at you, your former teammate, I think that no one deserves this championship more than we do. And I know you feel the same way. But, you know, what are you thinking, you know, what it's going to feel like, not to move too far ahead, what it would mean to this organization to win it all?
Well, you know, and it's our 10-year anniversary this season. We lost in 2008 in overtime in what a lot of people consider the best women's football game ever played. What would it mean? It would mean everything. I mean, it's what we talk about from day one every season. That's the goal.
Yep.
It's not, you know, to win our division or the conference or to be undefeated. It's to win the championship. Coach Konecki brings that sort of a expectation every season.
And, you know, looking at the Force in our history, we've always had that expectation. I remember practicing on small fields with glass on them, and, you know, that's always been our goal. And we get to play here tonight in this beautiful field. You know, the journey has been amazing, which I think makes it even sweeter. And looking back on our year, and I always talk about, too, in 08, I think everything happens for a reason. We lost that game for a reason. You know why I think we lost that game? And I think you're going to agree with me, and you can maybe, you know, follow up on this, but I think we lost that game because we were meant to win this year. And you know what? The journey's even sweeter. So,
well, I hope you're right.
You know, I'm a pretty positive thinker.
You know, and you and I have been around from day one with the Force, so 10 years later, and the way the team has progressed and the level of play and the fields that we play on, and just the product and everything, it's progressed so quickly, like the sport as a whole.
I agree.
Well, let's talk about now the schedule of events, because the WFA is doing a lot of great activities, a lot of events going into that weekend, and I think fans can get on ChicagoForceFootball.com in the upcoming days and clear some more information on maybe some tickets if you want to go to Pittsburgh and see this team in the national championship. But ChicagoForceFootball.com, really the place to get all the information.
Yes, everything will be on our website. It's going to be a fantastic event. They've done a great job pulling this together, and as you said, it's there's a Canton, the Hall of Fame inauguration that weekend. It's the 40-year anniversary of Title IX.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on and being commemorated. There's a lot to do. It's going to be a fantastic weekend.
One final question: what happened? What emotion went through your mind when the PAT was no good?
I just.
Did you?
Like their kicker, how good their kicker is,
They
too.
have a fantastic kicker. And from where I was, I couldn't tell what the issues might have been. If it was a snap or if they rushed the kick or what happened. I'll see that when I look at film, but it felt a little bit like a gift, and we'll take it.
Absolutely.
We were prepared to get back out on the field and score and do what we needed to win the game, but we ended up not having to do that.
Congratulations. 35-34, your team is now conference champions and move on to play in the WFA National Championship.
Thank you.
Once again, the final score, the Chicago Force 35, the Boston Militia 34, as we said. Moving on to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to take on the San Diego Surge in the WFA National Championship. And again, stay tuned to ChicagoForceFootball.com for all your information leading up to the game, tickets. We'll see you at streaming radio. We'll talk about all that, ChicagoForceFootball.com. Your Chicago Force are conference champions and moving on to the national championship. For Pam Shafrath and Linda Bechet, I'm Andy Garcia. Thank you so much for watching Chicago Force Football on ChicagoForceFootball.com and AM 1230 WJOB. Good night from the conference champion Chicago Force.